A2000 EST. OCOEE. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Hey. I need peace. I need love. I need everything that's coming from above. I need peace. I need love. I need everything that's coming from above. I want my dog. Ay, birds of a feather, we gon' fly together. Ay, we gon' ride forever like it's heavy metal. I ain't Christopher Columbus, I would never settle. I ain't Lewis, I ain't Clark, I would never settle. God told me I'm Olympic, for real. Ay, seek the kingdom while you simping, for real. Why you talking, you should listen, for real. All this jaywalking got me limping, for real. Hey, jaywalking, hey, Jesus walking, hey, Jesus talking. Yo, big faith, yeah, I need a whole lot of that way, where I'm about to go like amigo. Can't see the vision and you can't be me amigos. I call up my girl and then we pull her to the Rego. That's the only time we pay to see you acting way different. Way different. Same book, but the page different. The page different. Is it cliche to say I'm lane switching? Well, I'm lane switching. Hold on, let me put my turner signal on. So they see me coming. They still can't see me coming. Only two things that I need is peace. I need love. I need everything that's coming from above. I need peace. I need love.
I need everything that's coming from above. What up, what up, what up? Welcome in. Welcome in. Click, 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 click. It's a hit. Happy Monday. Let's roll. This is not a slow dance. Not a slow. How y'all feeling? Welcome in.
Recording in progress.
He give grace, so wherever grace lands. He paid the price, ain't have no escape.
Plan. W's in the chat. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Happy Monday, new week.
Actually, his plan was the plan, so he planned it. Hey, set the bar high, he the code, so I scanned it. Hey, we saving souls on the campus. Hey, but this ain't no religion, we ain't following your antics. Hey, thank you, Lord. I should like a praying mantis.
Well, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Man, there's Z Gamer in the house. What up, Z Gamer? Yo, yo, energy in the building. YOLO traders here. I need love.
I need everything that's coming from above. I need peace.
All right, we're just about ready here. Hope you guys are well. Let's get it started. Party time. OGH in the house. Yo, yo, yo. Eric P in the building. What up, Eric P? What up, what up, what up? PM Magnifico, speaking of P. What up, what up? Stephen B in the house. Now we're rhyming. Now we're rhyming. Jay Coops in the building. Engineer 14 is in the house. What up, band? Oh, Only Bands. Only Bands is here. Only Bands. Now where's Bands counted up? What's up, Cobra? What up, Jessica? Yo, yo. Hero of the Day is in the house. What up, Donald? What up, James? Edson is here. Yo, yo. How y'all feeling? Mr. George VDM is in the building. What's up, George? How are ya? How are ya, George? Kelvin in the building. What up, Kelvin? Good to see you, man. 3 ants in the house. Yo, yo. What up, Mr. Lopez? Stevie Mac in the house. What up? What up, everyone? Hope you guys had a good weekend. What up, AV Mike? What up, Matt? Yo, yo. Pips on Life is here. Yanosha's in the house. All right. All right. The heavy hitters are in the building. What up, FNAM? What up, K Villa? Meeks. What up, Meeks? All right, Vishal in the building. Let me get the clubhouse here. Just give me one moment. Let's get these guys up in here. Up in here. All right. Pre-New York eating early. Pre-New York up 35 pips here today. Let's get it. Johnny Gems, what a beaut. What a beaut. Let's go, Johnny Gems. Kid's on fire. He's just heating up. May I remind you, he's only 19. Shee. Just wait on it. Just wait on it. All right, Clubhouse is coming in. Let's see who else we got here. What up, Sujay? Congrats on your payout, Sujay. I did another payout on Friday as well. What up, bands? Count it up. Martin in the house. What up, Martin? Yo, yo. Yo, yo. All right. Everyone join my live streaming network for accurate gold trading signals. All right. Hey, anyone who feels comfortable heading over there, we'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Probably see you tomorrow. Smart Crypto in the house. Smart Crypto in the house. Yo, yo. How can I join Discord? Hit ! Discord. Sorry about that, man. I forgot to change the link there today. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this party started. I think the Clubhouse is rolling in. Yep, we're good to go. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. What up? What up? What up? Okay, let's do this. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. All right, let's go ahead and get the party started. We're going to pray real quick, and then it's the last day of the month. So let's just give thanks for all that we've been given here this month, all that we've been able to do, learn, and all that good stuff. You ready? Don't worry if you're not the praying type. Just pause for a moment. You be all right. You be all right. What up, Ron? Ron in the house. All right, let's go ahead and get to it here. Father in heaven, Lord, we thank you for another day, another week. Lord, we just give you the glory for what you've done over the past month. I thank you for moving, Lord, in the hearts and in the minds of those. I pray anyone dealing with any sort of attack from the enemy, Lord, that you would cut the head of it right here, right now, today, Lord. We thank you that your promises weigh amongst us, Lord. We thank you that your spirit dwells amongst us. And, Lord, we just give you all the glory for what you've done in March, for all the success, for all the lessons, all the blessings, Lord. We just ask that you would go before us here in April and guide our path, Lord. We thank you, and we just give you the glory here publicly in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. W March, eh? W March. W January. W February. W March. And now we shall wrap this thing up here today and enter into April, man. Big April coming in. Big April. Nick, today during Raja's show, he talked good things about you. Oh, that's awesome. Very happy to hear that. Very happy to hear it. All right, my friends. Well, let's dive into this here today. It is the 31st of March, so it's the last day here. Let me just lower that music a little bit. There we go. So last day of March here, as you can see, it's Monday 31st. If we're looking for US dollar stuff, we don't really have much in the headlines today, just a random yellow folder here. We could take a little quick dive into the week though, because this is a big week, right? So Tuesday we do have which is the first here. We have PMI coming in, ISM stuff, JOLT job openings, all that good stuff coming in at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Nothing too much in the headlines for like 8:30 or anything. Wednesday, we're going to have ADP coming in, so that's going to be a big day here on Wednesday at 8:15. Don't miss Wednesday's stream. That's going to be a good one. Thursday, we're going to have unemployment claims. You're going to have more PMI stuff coming in here. And then Friday will be the big day, which is obviously going to be NFP. You got Powell speaking on Friday as well, and all this crazy stuff going on here, up right from here down on the US dollar on Friday. So should be a big week. First week of the month. Let's kick it off right. Let's kick it off by being patient, disciplined, following our plan, and keeping the future in mind, right? Your future self, every decision you make today is a down payment. Listen to me. Every decision you make today is a down payment for your future success or failure tomorrow. So I want you to think about that today, not only in your life, but in your trading while you're at the desk. Every decision you make is a down payment to your future. So make these good decisions so we can have good futures, my friends. So that's going to be it. That's going to be the news. Let's go ahead and dive into the charts here. Let's see what we got going on. I'm very bullish here on gold. Very bullish. So let's talk about gold here. Weekly time frame obviously moving up. Daily time frame showing legit zero signs of stopping, right? Like we had a little bit of support formed here. You had a bit of a range. We closed above the range, and then we've just been off to the races here, right? This was Thursday. This is Friday, and then here you got Monday today, where we're just on a tear here with gold, right? So let's go ahead and look at the 4 hour, because I am pretty bullish based off the daily. The only issue with the daily becomes that there's no targets to the left hand side here, right? So that is obviously one of the more difficult parts about trading gold or any pair when it's in the all-time highs, is that you've got no targets, right? So let's see what the 4 hour is doing, because it looks like we did get a closure. That closure is a red candle. I don't even want to call it a bearish candle. Let's just call it a red candle here today. Very, very weak though. You know, like you got a big exhaustion wick to the top side. You couldn't close strong like on the bearish end, and just like a doji weak candle. So that 4 hour candle is not much for me to say, okay, I'm going to be bearish now, right? We got a good 4 hour closure, because we don't. You know, maybe if this candle breaks the lows and then closes bearish, okay, that may be right. We may be onto something with that, but the way that previous 4 hour closed, I am not shifting my bias here. So let's go ahead and see what the 1 hour is doing. 1 hour kind of closed like doji here. We may get a pop up to fill that wick here. Let's see what the 30-minute looks like. 30 closed without a top wick, so that's a bit of an issue here for me on this lovely Monday, last day of the month. Yeah, so this is pretty much the range, right? You got a nasty 15-minute range here. I think gold could definitely move up, especially the way the 1 hour candles look here for that wick fill. So I'm a little late to this party. Had I seen this earlier, I may have had a buy stop there. So I like the buys here to fill that wick. So if you guys are in buys, that looks pretty solid here at NY Open. If we're looking at the 1 hour, you got support sitting here, right? Nice rejections to the downside, and we should go ahead and fill that wick here for NY Open, but we'll see. I'm a little late here. Would have liked to maybe get an entry somewhere at the break of the highs. So yeah, if you're in buys, they look pretty good. If not, maybe wait for just a better closure, you know, on the 30-minute or something like that, to see, you know, if you can get a better play. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, pretty much it. Buys aren't too bad here. We should go ahead and fill that wick with the volume that is coming in, and yeah, we'll see what happens after that. We are live. Yeah, we are live. Yep. Let's see. New here. Welcome, my friend. Nylon. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so I'm assuming that gold would probably move up and fill this wick to the left-hand side here. Something like this. So if you're in this trade, I think stops are pretty good below current candle lows here. And then you should move up off of this support and go ahead and fill that wick. I'd probably look to close partials probably somewhere around here. Yeah, somewhere around there. Let's see. Decision, yes, exactly. Decision you make today. Where's my trade Zella? Hold on one sec. Trade Zella. Trade Zella. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so great move there on Goldie. Great move. Yeah, I closed 80% right there. If you're in, I'll be 80% out. What's up, B Maze? How are you? How are you? We kind of have a course. It's within the clubhouse. So if you guys are new to the live streams, you guys could join the clubhouse, which has like probably 50, 60 hours, maybe a little bit more of pre-recorded webinars, kind of like courses, only a little bit better than courses, because like we dialed in on specific topics for like 45 minutes to an hour in some of those. So That's probably the best option. There's a course coming soon in WAP, which is going to be nice, but yeah, YouTube live streams or Clubhouse live streams, and then the webinars are probably the best kind of content you can consume. All right, Goldie off to the races. Let's take a look at NQ here. Let's get rid of this. Boom, boom. All right, so let's take a look here at NASDAQ. So it looks like Friday's candle ended up closing without a bottom wick. So we do have some support sitting right here. Let's see where we closed. Yeah, we closed a little bit above that. So now we're starting to tap into that support. And if we do, right, and we start rejecting, then we could see some buys out of this daily candle here today. Maybe expect a fake out, right, back into the range. Something like this today. Come back in, close back above that zone there, and then begin to reject here. So let's take a look at the 4 hour. 4 hour is showing signs of slowing up here as well. As you can see, you got very strong candles, right? Decently strong candle, and then after that candle closed without the bottom wick, you start to see candles slowing down now, right, as we approach this overall support level here. So very interesting, right? 4 hours literally screaming for a pullback, right? If we can get a pullback maybe somewhere back into these ranges here, I think that would be pretty nice. I would be open to taking those buys there as well. So let's go ahead and see what the 1 hour looks like. We should have a bit of a range. Yeah, so we got this range here. You got resistance sitting up here. Let's take a look left. Let's get rid of this. Let's see what we got on the 1 hour here. Let's go left, left, left we go. Can we get some info? Wow. Alright, doesn't look like we can get some info here to the left on the 1 hour. So I do know we are in a pretty strong support level here on the 4 hour. So gonna have to base it off of that. And yeah, so I like closures back above here, man. You know, or if we can move down like this, we can get a bit of a range here. So something like that, we move down. And then we just happen to come back up and we don't close above that range, right? But maybe we do a fake out or something like this. Then I like the sells coming back down here. Yeah, so basically this resistance here would give us confirmation that we could take a sell on that very next candle to basically retest the lows there. So that's what I would look for. Other than that, the buys, good closures above, I think would look good, but not a closure like that, where you get this big candle and then another candle. For me, I would need to see some sort of a move up, and then we need to establish a new support somewhere, right? So let's say we move up, do something like this, right? We don't close above maybe, but then we get a bearish candle closure, right? If we can get this bearish closure, that'll give us a brand new support, right? So once we get that new support, if a breakout then happens, then I really like those buys. So that's kind of my idea here for the buys. A little bit of idea for sells, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, gonna lay low, chill out, and let price come to me. Yeah, I don't want to take these sells though, because again, 4 hour support sitting right here to the left hand side. That does not look that good here, right? You got this support right here. We don't really want to take sells while we're in that zone. Music in Zoom is too loud. I have no idea how, because it's super low here. Not sure. How's that? How's that? Hopefully that's good. Yeah, it's super low on my end. All right, back to Goldie. Oh, Jamil in the house. Oh wow, gold came back down there. Yeah, so you see what I mean? Like once you fill that wick, that's the idea there. So you have volume, right? So Any of you guys that aren't familiar with wicks and stuff like that, so what you have here is a very simple wick fill. You have this kind of like this celery play where anytime that you have high volume coming in, right, and you see these wicks to the left hand side, these wicks will tend to get filled. And what I mean by that is the candle will move up, fill that wick, and then it may or may not continue moving forward after that, right? Because its main job was to fill that wick, and then from there it can start pulling back, right? Now you do have another wick fill on a higher time frame, which may get also filled here right now, which is that 4-hour wick. So we'll see what happens. A lot of people tend to see that as a big rejection, but notice how I never got bearish here yet, right? Never got bearish here yet, because that wick is going to be that wick fill on the 1-hour time frame, which at 8 a.m. Eastern, it's bound to get filled. Spidey in the chat. What up, Spidey? What up, what up? Anyone trading from Bali? I think we got some Bali traders in here. I think we do some Bali trading. Clubhouse, how you guys feeling? Big W in pre-New York, eh? What up, Dominic? Yo, yo. Whoa. How was everyone's weekend? Y'all have a good weekend? What up, Buzz Blab? Oh, that's good. That's good. Good news from Raja's stream, eh? That's always good. You know, when the trader that you tend to look up to gives you some nice, some kind words, it's always nice. Always nice. Appreciate Raja. He is the GOAT. He's always taking time out to chat with me and talk with me, so I appreciate him for that, because, you know, guys like that don't have to do that type of stuff. Trust me. Trust me. But I appreciate that man. That man changed my life with everything he put out there early in 2021, 2020. It just absolutely changed my life. What contract size should I use on a 50K Top Step challenge? I would go. So it depends on your approach. Like if you have a budget for more combines and you're trying to get aggressive, then I would go like a little. Like I would use the standard GC chart and probably do like 2 contracts, 3 contracts. If not, I would say go with the micros and probably do like maybe 5 micros. What up, Stacy Lewis? Appreciate you. Bless you, my friend. My RR is rest and relaxation. Yeah. That's so funny. Was I in this trade? Yeah, I was in it on a combine account. Yeah, I was in on a combine from earlier, from before I started the stream. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to take it on this one though. I don't like to count the combines because those I consider basically demo accounts. So I usually don't count the combine stuff on my TradeZella anymore. Earlier in the year when I was working combines, I did, but I don't do that. I won't do that anymore. So anything now you see on my TradeZella is all XFA stuff. Oh snap! Raja the GOAT. Yeah, Raja's the GOAT, man. Such a nice guy too. Charts for stream? Yeah. Oh wow, look at Goldie taking off here now. Goldie gone. Charts for stream. Charts for stream. Let's see. Yeah, if you guys do have charts that you guys want to send in to review, send them over. Put them in our Discord channel, Charts for Stream. And yeah, we'll take a look at them. All right, let's take a look here. The first one, Nick got stopped out on this, but could you please explain why and when to take partials? Absolutely. Let's take a look. So this is let's see here. So the trade was, should I have taken partials here instead of the 30-minute? Yes, 100%. 100%. So if I'm taking trades off of any of these candles right here, any one of these, then my TP or my partials has to be this zone right here, because that's the first zone we're going to come in contact with, right? So just think of it like this. If we're these lonely voyagers, right? And we're walking and we're walking and we're walking and we're walking, right? The first sign of any sort of attacker or thief or bandit or pirate or any, whatever you want to call it, right? Or any sign of turbulence, right? If we're flying an airplane, right, and we're moving, this would be considered the first area of turbulence, right? Where it's not that we're going to reject it. It's just that if there's anywhere on the chart, right, where we can reject from our entry, it's going to be right here. So yeah, this is going to be your best area for partials. I always take partials there. I always take full, you know, targets there and stuff like that. So I think it was a great trade, and you probably had a good, you know, you could have closed partials right here, right? Up here would be more so like my second TPs and stuff like that. But yeah, 80% would come off right there. Yeah, good trade though. Good trade. Goldie gone. Goldie gone. Yes, I took this. I made 3,000 on this account. So see how where I took this profit? See where I took the profit? Right at the first sign of struggle. So the wick fill, right? So anywhere, like if there was another resistance up here, let's say, you know, there was some stuff going on over here too, and I can mark that off. Bam. That wouldn't be my first TP. So again, if I'm taking trades off of any of these three candles here, right, I want to secure profits right there. Even if this wasn't all-time highs, like I said, even if there was stuff going on to the left, right, it's still, right, a lot of people try and take these, go for these big home runs. Like let's say you have all, sorry about the ugly candles here, but let's just say, you know, you had that resistance up there too. No doubt, still taking partials right there. Yeah, yeah. And when I say partials, I mean like 80-90%. So I don't really let much of trades run. I usually let like 10 to 20% max. But good trade, bro. Yeah, that's all I would do. Moving forward, consider it like that. Consider like if you're on an airplane, where are you going to run into turbulence, right? And if you are going to run into any sort of turbulence, you know, check that nearest resistance. And if, you know, in this case for me today, I just closed the full position right there. I was trying to get 3 grand just to get halfway up on the combine. Yeah, I was actually in this trade earlier though, before the stream, so it was off of this candle. I went back a little bit, but once we broke the highs there, it looked like it just pushed. Hey. Alright, let's see here. I'll be following you, Steps, following Wix for a minute. Shout out to Wix, great guy. Really, really good dude. What? Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. Let's see. You're welcome, Jay Coops. You're welcome. Did you take any trades during London session? No, I was on Sunday nights I usually sleep in for London. I never trade London on Sunday. Or I should say London on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday though, I'm in there. What time does pre-New York start in the clubhouse? Pre-New York starts at 5:45 a.m. So like 6 a.m. Eastern. All right, let's check Zoom out here. Let's see. DJ Scratches. How we feeling? Stephen B. Stephen B at the TTHQ. I see you. All right, let's see here. Got stopped out by a few pips, but I was trying to figure out if there is anything I could have avoided. I noticed the previous 1 hour basically had filled the range, even though it closed strong bullish. Is that something to take into consideration next trade, or was the probability of it this time? Let's take a look, J Coop. We got J Coops and we got J Coop. Okay, so yeah, it was basically the same trade. So stops are kept below the lows here, it looks like, right? And then it came down and poked it. Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, obviously the best stops are going to be below the low there, right? But then it's all about, can you use them? So I think, I think the best stops could have been here. It's just anytime before anytime before NY Open or even during NY Open, you have to be a little bit more like cautious with wicks because they tend to go all over the place. So I think if it's like 7:30 trade, it's best to have your stops below that 7 a.m. candle there or 6 a.m. candle there, because you know you're most likely going to get that wick fill, right? But now it's about where will the bottom wicks go, right? Will they get stopped? How's it going to happen? So yeah, I think it was a great trade actually. I mean, I took it, right? But yeah, maybe keep the stops below the lows a little bit during that and shoot for the wick fill. Yeah, it happens, bro. It happens. How many times, man, you get stopped out by 1 pip or something, and yeah, part of the game sometimes. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, I didn't know that. You could do that with the music on Zoom. I did not know that. There's another J Coop. There's J Coops. There's J Coops. Will the real J Coop please stand up? Yeah, gold's gone. Gold's going to continue to rip up, continue making new highs, all that stuff. So now it's just about where can we get the pullback, right? If we can get a brand new support to form, can we take buys off that, right? Other than that, there's no trade today. Unless you're just going to press buy here, you know what I mean? AB Mike standing up today. Okay, where you going, AB Mike? Where you going? Where you going, bro? I thought you were about to zip up that jacket real quick. Head out. Possible 15-minute breakout. Yeah, but what the only thing now is where are we going? You know what I mean? Like breaking out, but where are we going to break out to? So there's nothing that we have to the left. So I'm always hesitant to trade. I very rarely will trade any of these type of breakouts, right? Where there's nothing to the left-hand side for me to target. So the only reason I got into the buys here was simply because we had a wick to fill, which and a resistance, right? AKA a target. So now that we have no target, there's nothing, we got to wait here now. But if we can come down on the 30-minute, right, then I think we can move back up. So if we can get a nice little push down here, right, 30-minute time frame. Someone clip this. So we get, let's say 30-minute time frame. I say 15-minute time frame. And then 9:15, 9:30 gives us either a support, right? Then I think we can move back up into that range. And 9:15, 9:30, we could take more buys. So that would be the next best position I would wait for here. Or you may get a little bit of a range here, right? So you may get priced to range a little bit, do something like this, and then 9:15, 9:30, we break out, right? So I want to either see a little bit of some consolidation or where we could say, hey, buys above here, right, or sells below here or whatever, and then we could take buys moving up. Or if we're going to stay just moving nicely and we're trending, then you know, just the support will be fine. So something like that. If you get that closure at 9 a.m. and we're leading into 9:15, I'm going to look to go long here again. Or if it's 9:15 leading into 9:30, I'll look to go long. So got to wait for that pullback now. Can you see it? Can you see it? 500 people and 70 likes? No. Nah. If you guys can, give the stream a like here for me today. I forgot to give you a friendly reminder. If you're not subbed to the channel too, subscribe to the channel. This is a big channel to be a part of if you're new here. You've just you may never leave, honestly. We see people coming here and maybe they were just browsing around for a live stream and they never leave. They become family. They start to get better in their day-to-day life. They start to get better in their trading. They move themselves over into the clubhouse. They get around more traders that are on a serious level about you know, going to that next level, which is profitability, right? So we're seeing a lot of traders go from unprofitable to break even to profitable, or other traders coming in here at the break even stage and just moving into that profitable stage. And we're really not doing anything special, right? We're not talking about anything so crazy either. It's just about doing what's required for this job. A lot of you guys think you're leaving your job to go gamble or go press some buttons, make money, but this is just as serious as a job as you would need to treat your 9 to 5, if not more serious. So yeah, if you want to live a life like me where you can live stream and have your kids screaming in the background, you know what I mean? You gotta you guys can hear him? Yo, I'm gonna have to send Sure Mike an email. I thought these were noise blockers. Yeah, but look, man, you got to follow the rules. You know, you got to follow the rules. If you want to win here, you're gonna have to follow the rules. I mean, I don't know what else to really share outside of do what's required and you win. If you don't do what's required, I mean, why would you expect to win? Right? If you keep breaking your plan, or if you have no plan at all, why would you expect to make money? Smash the subscribe button. Yeah, there you go. So we're here to tell you the truth. We're not here to kind of say, oh, you're so amazing, and you know, I know the last 4 months have all been red and you've been over trading and over risking, but you can do it. Nah, that stuff ain't gonna work. If you're gonna keep doing that, you might as well just find something better to do with life. But if you're willing to get down to it, and you're willing to really follow a system, and a profitable system at that, then you're gonna win. And you're gonna win. You're gonna make more money than you know what to do with. You're gonna make more money in less time, and you're gonna say, I almost feel bad about how much money I'm making and how little I'm doing. So let's get to that point, right? Any of you guys want to get to that point where you actually feel bad about how much money you're making and how little bit of time you're making it in? I'm down. I be looking at some of my friends. I'm like, they're like, yeah, man, I made $2,000 this week. I'm like, $2,000? Why did it take you so long to make $2,000? You said this week? My goodness, that's a long time. He said, how'd you do that? Well, you know, I got a really good job. I said, no, how'd you take that long to make that? He said, stuck. What? Huh? Don't you guys just want to blow your friends' minds real quick? When they're like, yeah, man, I made $3,000 this month. And you're like, really? How? Well, I got a pretty good job. I've been putting in the overtime. No, you're like, no, how? How'd it take you that long, dude? Like, how'd it take you that long to make 3 Gs? What up, Ayush? What's up, Epic? Yeah. What up, Nylon? What's up, Dan? Sandman in the house. Sandman. When a candle doesn't leave a wick, that means there's no range for the next wick to keep driving. The one on the last 1 hour candle didn't leave a wick, but it drove. That's a good question. So there's some nuances there, right? So this one actually did leave a small wick, right? Small little wick there, but you see the rejection from here? So you see how we're so bullish though, because there's like the playbook for the face value, and then there's the nitty gritty details to it, right? So you're in a bullish trend, right? So you're coming down, you're looking to potentially plant a support there, right? So now you have to pay attention to the wicks. So if we see here, we have a wick that pushed down off of this bearish candle, and now the next candle, it had a wick, but it never broke the low of the previous one, right? And now this one came down and it never broke the previous low of the other candle, right? And rejected to where it closed strong, or I'm sorry, like weak bullish, but we like to call this the celery play. So this to us looks really good because we have a steep wick to the bottom, aka a rejection, and then we have a small wick on top, which makes it easy entry for us, right? Where we can either keep a tight stop or, you know, kind of keep stop somewhere back in the range here. So yeah, it doesn't have much of a top wick, but we like to use this candle as like a confirmation or a setup candle that we're continuing to reject from the downside. And most likely, especially if you have a wick to the left of that candle and volume coming in plus higher time frame direction, sets up for a perfect trade. Yeah, you'll see this more. We call it like a celery, inverted celery, we call it. So as you continue to trade with us and here, you'll see us execute on that more and more. Good question though, good question. Let's see, doing amazing. Good to hear, Ayush. Good to hear, bro. Hope you had a good weekend. Let's get it. Let's crush it in April. April's typically a big month for us. Why I feel scared to enter in a setup based off trades after one profit? Probably because you don't have enough data. And what I say that is you don't have enough data like with your own eyes, right? The only reason most are unconfident is because they've seen me take the trade maybe many times, but they haven't seen it for themselves, right? So I remember Raja would talk, right? And then I would go review because I wanted to be as confident as he was. And the only reason he was confident is because he had much more repetition. So he had seen these plays play out many more times. He had executed on them many times. So I had some of his experience, but to gain my own true confidence, I had to put the chart time in, right? I had to also go out there and gain my own confidence. And the only way I was able to do that was to obviously see things play out for themselves. Yeah, so that's probably the main reason why you're fearing, and then, you know, just make sure you're not over risking, you know, and stuff like that too. How do I manage trades that go into profit and go back into drawdown? It just depends on the situation. Like if we were in this trade and we kind of moved up here and then we started coming back down, I probably would just close the full thing at break even, or I would just move my stop loss, keep it right below the low. Let's say the trade was taken off of the middle candle. So let's say that this candle didn't do anything yet. So pretend that's not there. So if I'm going to take a trade like just off of that candle, right, and we start going into profit. So it looks like this, start going into profit. Then what I may do is I may say, hey, if the next candle, the only way we manage this is if like, or let's say we get a breakout here, right? So totally new trade. So let's say we get a breakout and we want to continue buying, right? So we go into some profit on this candle. We wait for a lower wick. We're in profit, but it's just continuing to reject. So what I'm going to do is, instead of, let's say my stops are below here, what I'll do is I'll wait for this candle, this green candle here, to close. And if it closes like that, I'll be good, right? I'll continue to stay in that trade. But let's say it closes below the range, right? So let's say the candle rejects and ends up closing below here, right? Then I would just cut my trade right there, because most likely if we're closing below, we're going to retest the bottom of the zone. And if my stop loss is sitting there, it's going to get hit. So I'll basically move my stop loss to here and then just cut the trade right here. I'm trying to lose like half. But losing is part of this game. You know, get used to losing trades, for real. Get used to losing trades, get used to managing them, right? Even if it took you the next 12 months to really learn trade management, who cares? you're still in the game. If you're committed for the long haul here, right, you're still in the game if it takes you a year to learn something specific. It's really, you got to give yourself time to grow. You know, this is like my 6th year trading now. So first 3 years were horrible. Do we live stream in the clubhouse during pre-New York session? Yes. So we live stream Asian session in the clubhouse, London session, pre-New York, and then the New York session. Speaking of pre-New York, there he is. Johnny Gems.
Yo.
How we feeling?
Oh man, I'm feeling amazing, brother. Blessed and highly favored. How you feeling?
Great to see you. Excellent, bro.
Amazing to see you too, bro. We didn't get to see each other yesterday, but we had a fun weekend.
How you doing?
How you doing? What's up, chat? Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday.
There he is.
Happy new week. Who's ready to crush it this week? Who's ready to crush it with discipline? Let's go.
Yeah.
Another session to be patient and disciplined to the plan. I'm excited to be here and run it up with y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how was your morning today,
How
Nick?
was pre-NYG? Good?
Yeah, pre-NY was really good. We took a nice buy off support, caught 35 pips, and called it a session, and now we're here.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Yo, so April. Let's have a look at last year's April. Let's pull up this journal. And let's see what we've done in the past year. So I think we've really improved. I think we could definitely say we have improved a lot here in terms of the last year or so. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So these are all of our stats from last year's live stream. If we go to April, it was a good one. So January last year was okay. It wasn't the greatest. February last year was like our best month ever because we took 6 losses in a row. We dealt with some adversity. We took a hit, you know what I mean? We really did. We fought back from that. After taking that big losing streak, this was my only red month over the last 2 years here was in February. Probably my worst trading month by far, which is understandable because I was moving. I was having another child. I was distracted. So it is what it is, right? We took a lot of lessons from February and we clearly moved on with it. So we still had some things to shake off in March last year, which, we did. And then April is when we really started cooking here. So we are moving into April now. This is when we really started heating up last year. This is typically when we start heating up every year, actually. So April last year, I think we had we had a good record here. 1, 2, 3, 4 losses last year, and I didn't even know how many wins. But this is really when we started cooking. This is when we started really heating up, and I would expect the same thing this year. Once we moved into May, it was on, right? We started increasing our trades. We started implementing the fade a little bit more with these impulse entries. And then June, we just started going crazy, right? So this is usually where our system thrives. June was the most trades I've taken in 1 month in a very long time. Since I haven't taken this many trades in 1 month since I was a poor person, since I was a brokey trader, right? These were all A+ good quality setups, and we were very happy about the results of last year in June. So anyway, going back to April, again, this is where we tend to start to see some good action in the markets according to our system, and it should be no different this year. So buckle up, get ready. And this year we're trading all 3 sessions. So holy.
That's what I was gonna say, bro. We really started executing more too. Like during April, May, June, we started executing more. Let the probabilities work more in our favor, and yeah, bro, I'm excited. Yep. I see that a lot of trades in June.
Yep. Yeah, if you guys want this journal, you guys can use this for free. I use this journal for almost 3 years. So just hit !journal in the chat, and then this will pop up for you, and you can use it for yourself. Yeah, but
Q2, baby.
Q2 coming in hot. So Q2, big difference Q2, this year between March, right? March and even February. February this year, I really wanted to, by the way, I moved again in February this year, but I really locked in. So one thing about life is it teaches you lessons, eh? It teaches you things, right? Experience really does help out in life. So as you guys know, last February I moved, this February I moved, but this February we didn't suffer on the charts, right? My work didn't suffer because of it. It's because I learned some things, right? Learned some stuff last year and applied it this year. So January's been great here this month or this year. February's also been fantastic. March we had a couple red days, nothing too crazy, and then we will move on to April. A nice clean open slate, clean open calendar here. So
Time to do it all over again.
time to eat.
Once you're in April, March doesn't mean anything, right? Now it's a new month. Now you have to be disciplined again. You have to be disciplined all over again. So you're always required to do these things. So you may as well develop the habit of doing it, because we're always going to need to do this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We had a really good January. What did we say? What did we say early February? We said, hey, January's in the January's gone, right? There's nothing we can do. We had a great month, but who cares? That doesn't guarantee us a successful February. So we planted our stake. We moved forward. We didn't try and, succeed off of last month's profits. We went and we earned it again, right? So at the end of February, we looked at March and we said, hey, it's March Madness. Whatever we did in February, it is what it is. It's in the past now, right? Now we got to lock in and focus on sticking to an 8-figure trader March, and that's what we have done. You know, all these losses here were honestly good solid red days. And that's it. So March is in the past after today, and then we will begin April. I'm going to do a big YouTube video, a March review. I think we'll be able to talk about a lot of good stuff here in March. And yeah. And I think one of the reasons I've been able to see the market so well this year, as opposed to maybe a little bit better than I was seeing it last year, is just simply because I trade multiple sessions now, right? So I'm all over price. Like, price can't make a move without me really knowing about it on most days. So I'm tracking that daily candle. I'm following that 4-hour time frame session by session, and making sure I just take the best trades. You know, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you're executing more too, right? Execution's your edge, right? So the more you execute, the more the probabilities will work in your favor. Now, that's for the disciplined trader, right? You're disciplined, so you can execute more because you're disciplined to the good trades. But yeah, you execute more, and then the probabilities work more in your favor. So that's very important too.
Yeah. In gold, how do you determine the higher time frame bias? Because previous 4-hour with a huge rejection wick, dailies and daily bearish. Daily's not bearish though. So you have to develop flow, right? Flow. Market Raja calls it market fluidity, right? You got to find that flow in the market, right? And clearly right now gold is extremely bullish. So if you go back to the morning breakdown, you'll hear me talk about this 4-hour candle. I didn't even call it a bearish candle. I just called it a red candle, right? This candle means nothing to me when it comes to switching my bias to bearish. So if you go back to today's breakdown, you'll notice that I can care less about this. It's just a trap to try and get traders to get bearish, right? So until we actually have something that closes like this, then maybe I can switch my bias. But gold is just way too bullish to get tricked on that bearish candle right there on the 4-hour. So if you go back again to that early morning breakdown that we talked all about that and why my bias would remain bullish based off of the higher time frames, based off of what's currently taking place on gold and all that stuff. So again, you got to find that fluidness, that flow in the market to where you're just with it. You know, you're with it. You're almost one with it, eh? Right? To where, you know, we're not bearish, right? Like this sell right here, I would not even take this sell right here. Right here. Oh, this one. I would not touch that sell, right? Because I'm so bullish here. So it's so dangerous to take this counter trend trade on gold, even after a big wick rejection, even after a candle close with no top wick, even after you get a bearish closure on the 1-hour, I still would not take that sell. Yo, we're just way too bullish. So I would miss out on these. I'll wait for support, and then I'll take a buy to go back up. Kind of like I did. What do you know? Exactly like I did. This trade could be called an onion. Yeah, onion / celery, whatever you like to call it. It is a buy off support, so it does look pretty good. Which session's been good for me? They've all been pretty good. Pre-New York has been amazing. London session has been amazing. New York to be honest, New York session here has probably been the more of the slower one. Yeah, we've also had good trades in Asian. We haven't had a lot of trades in Asian, but we've had quality trades in Asian. Bam. All right, cool. That should be good. All right, John, my bad. You should be good.
My bad. Went on mute. You took these buys too?
Yeah, you did.
W. Which ones?
You took them too.
Yeah. When did you take yours? 6:30.
I think it was like 6:30. Yeah, a little bit before 7.
You must have took it like right after me.
Oh no, these were taken around like 7:30 or so, right before NY Open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I went for a walk, and I guess this had gotten activated. I was hoping it would get activated for NY Open. It did, but pushed up pretty heavy at NY Open. Yeah, I thought this move was gonna happen maybe before the Open, because they're just so damn bullish.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a nice move up at NY Open. I seen that.
The trend is not your friend; it's your best friend. Yeah, that's true.
Facts, bro. Trend's your best friend.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get a fake out here, maybe. Yeah. So I'm not that bearish because we're in a 4-hour rejection area here on NQ. But if we do get closures back above, especially 1-hour closures back above 19263, I really like these. Yeah, they look good.
NQ.
Yeah, you can take buys here off of the 1 hour, but I don't like the range here, especially before NYSE Open, like before 9:30. To take a buy here would just be like kind of doing a disservice to NQ and yourself. You know what I mean? You're gonna have a lot of volume here, right? Especially if you get closures above. So yeah, it's up to you. I don't like the range, especially on a Monday. Maybe if it was a Friday and I'm up, 10 grand for the week or something, I'll take the buy just to play with some profit, but not on a Monday. Too choppy for me.
Those sells too are chopped. I see on NAS.
Yeah, the sells are horrible. This right here is a major 4-hour resistance support. I mean.
Yeah, bro.
March is gone. Every morning before having my coffee, I check my gold. Let's go, brother. W.
Let's get it, Sebastian.
No surprise.
Hey,
winning leaves clues, eh?
Yes, it does. That's a lot of green there, Sebastian. Okay.
He's green if he was ready when.
Sebastian, are you the new green? Snap.
What do you think about buys in the 1 hour? Yeah, I think we already answered that. What's your sleep schedule like to be able to fit all those sessions in? I usually sleep.
Purpose.
So I sleep from about 10 to about 2 a.m. 10 p.m. to about 2 a.m. is where I tend to recharge. And I usually recharge. I go to sleep with a purpose. I don't just sleep and lay there and go to bed, right? I truly aim to get charged up. I aim to create once I wake up. I go to sleep in a bit of a meditative state, and I get enough. You know what I mean? I'm not tired. I'm not sluggish throughout the day. So as long as that remains the case, I think I'm good to go. And if I ever do need to, I could just take a nap. But I usually don't nap. It's just I don't like to nap too much.
Yeah, facts.
I don't like waking up in the middle of the day.
20-minute power naps only.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even like that. Because it just gets me out of my flow.
I'm usually charged if I get 20-minute nap, I feel like charged up when I wake up. But if I get over 20-minute nap, I don't feel charged up. It's super weird. So it's like you got to keep it within 20 minutes.
Yo, no,
But,
that's actually so true.
yeah,
You go for an hour, you're done.
that's true.
You're done. Right,
Yeah.
Green? Green?
That's a fact. Greenery.
Green knows how I sleep. Tell him, Green. Thank you, Banty. Appreciate you, man.
What's up, Green?
Appreciate you, G.
What's up, Banty? Yeah, Nick is crushing it, man. The leader this man is, like, he just makes everything so simple. He sets the path that he's walking, he makes it simple to follow it. So yeah, yo, shout out to Nick, man. This guy's crushing it. This guy's being a great example for all of us on how to live wealthy lives. Props to Nick, man.
Yes, sir. Just trying to live on purpose.
Purpose driven.
Muslim brother, how
Oh,
are
yeah,
you, bro? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Change your name a little, eh? Good to see you, bro. As always. How do you remember your why on days you feel intrigued to trade? You do like me and you keep a little stupid little toy car up here. And that little stupid toy car, it's not just a little stupid toy car. You know what I mean? It represents something. So when I look at this toy car right here, I think, well, I have a responsibility and a job to be a father, right? And I have to provide for these kids. These kids are hungry, right? I need to stay professional. I need to stay disciplined. If I make one wrong move, that could lead to a day of disaster on the charts, which I would not like, right? So you got to remind yourself by keeping things like that. I also have my goal sitting right here, right? You got to throw them reminders. And to be honest, when you're using self-talk and you're reading and writing your goals every day, you don't need to remember. Your subconscious mind will provide it at all times. So once the repetition comes into the game, when you've written and spoken your goals enough, let's just say you write. So let's say I write my goals once, or I should say twice a day, every day, because that's what I do, right? So I write my goals in the morning and at night, right? You write your goals never, right? And not you, but let's just say someone else. So if I write my goals once in the morning, once at night, and you don't do that, and then I do it again the next day, all right, and you don't do it, and the next day, all right, and you don't do it, and I do it, and the next day, and boom, boom, right? What's happening here is I will build up repetition. So because I've fed it to my mind over and over and over and over and over again, now when it comes to making a decision, like right here, do I take a buy? Well, if you don't know what your goal is, because you never look at it, read it, write it, or anything, you're going to say, you know what? All right, fine, I'll take a buy here, right? But when I take a buy, my subconscious mind feeds me my goal that I've been feeding it. And it says, Nick, do you think it would be wise to take a buy here when there's a better option to take buys over here where you can have a better trade, and this one may be going against your plan, right? So now I can just very quickly say, you know what? I wouldn't want to take these buys because I have better success waiting for the closure above, right? And I want to get to my goal. I want to actually accomplish something here today. So I'm going to wait on that, right? Where other traders, if you don't read and write your goals and know what you're after, I mean, you're just going to chase things every day that don't make sense. So how many of you guys have ever done this? You open up your charts. You don't care what time it is. Right now, you just woke up. You're like, all right, let's see here. Weekly, yeah. Daily, yeah. 4 hour bear, yeah. 1 hour, all right. 30 minutes. Do we have anything? Hold on. Do we have anything on the 1 hour? Not really. It's consolidating. Do we have anything on the 30? Okay, cool. Yeah. Maybe if this candle breaks the low, I can take a sell. Yeah. You know what? Sell. And you just press sell right there. You don't even come up with a bias, a theory. You don't even have any patience. You just show up here, and the first sign of a trade, you execute. How many have ever done that? I've done that. I've done that many, many times in my first 3 years of trading. As if the market, hey everyone, Greg says 100% guilty. Hey, everyone. The market goes, Greg's here. Come on.
Same.
Give him an opportunity. Here we go, right? Like as if the market cares about you, right? As if the market is like, okay, look, Time to Eat Trading's logged in now. They've got over 500 people on the live stream. Let's go ahead and provide an opportunity. Like that just ain't the way this thing works, right? It ain't the way it works. So you got to settle in and make a plan. You know what I mean? You can't just jump into stuff just because you're here and you want to trade, right? That's what most people do. You know, I have children now. And a lot of traders I noticed act like children, right? When my kids want something, they want it now. They want it now. I want it now, blah, 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 right? And then I see grown men and women with the same mindset here. I want to take a trade now. I want to do this now. It's like, yo, have some patience, grow up, get some maturity, relax, and wait for the next best setup, man. That's all you got to do here. That's all you got to do here. It's honestly a pretty easy game once you have developed patience and discipline to your goals here. So make some financial goals. Understand what you're after. Otherwise, you'd just be after everything.
Right.
Right? If you don't know what you're looking
That's
for,
facts, bro.
you'll take anything.
Bro, facts, bro. Could be so simple, man.
That used to be me. I like that. I like that. Good word. I did that every day for a year. Trust
Bro.
me too.
That's crazy. The first day I traded, I did that.
Yeah. This
Really
should be
just
easy.
press sell for
Let's
nothing.
come in and let's look for a trade. Okay,
Yeah,
Goldie.
gotta get professional.
Now we're talking. We need a pullback here.
Yeah, exactly, Daniel. I did that and I won the first trade, and then I thought it was gonna be like that forever. I
Yep.
was sadly mistaken.
Who's in that phase right now? You don't have to say anything, but I'll be honest, I have to say something because I like you, right? But by the way, my name is Nick Stewart and I am your friend. But gee, if you keep doing that, you'll never make money here. You will give so much money away to the markets, your family will get to the point where they will think you're crazy. And I think you're crazy too. So you got to start cleaning your act up when it comes to trading these markets. You're never going to do it by being disobedient to a proven profitable trading plan. So most of you guys think you have a profitable trading plan, but you're not profitable. Right? So the idea now is if you think you have a profitable trading plan, then you need to make sure through sample sizing that it's profitable, right? Because a lot of you guys could be spinning your tires, right? And you just may not have a good plan. So if you think you have a profitable trading plan, then it's time to truly obey it, right? And make sure that it's profitable. And if it's not, then you have to make some moves. You know, you got to drop your ego a little bit and say, okay, you know, this one isn't profitable. I've not been able to trade it successfully, right? What other adjustments or tweaks can I make? Otherwise, you'd be spinning your tires for a very long time. I don't want to see you do that.
Big facts, bro.
Because I know what that's like. And that sucks. Thankful I'm not like that
Like
anymore.
you said, bro.
Yeah.
Like you said, Nick, the hardest part of the hardest part of trading is realizing how easy it actually is. Like there's a couple simple requirements that you have to do as a trader, and you get the good results. I mean, it comes down to a couple requirements at the end of the day that you have to be disciplined to, and then you get the results you want. Like we were talking about earlier, like anything in life is guaranteed. The thing you want is guaranteed if you do what's required of you to get it. So
Yep,
what you input,
exactly.
you output, right? So it's guaranteed. You just have to do what's required of you.
Yeah.
So it's all about being disciplined to those requirements, of course.
Yep. Greg trading for beer, man. You're going to be getting a lot of beer
Greg.
with this. Yeah, so Greg knows what days he broke his plan. Could you guys figure that one out too? Right? So I think once Greg, and by the way, I know that they're not all trades. I know that they're contracts and stuff. But once you start to go to 1 to 2 trades or 2 to 3 trades a day max, I bet that you're probably a really good trader. You just trade too much. So even the best trader, right? Trading too much can hurt them. Like the best surfer, right? The best surfer, if he surfs too much, he could get thrown around. He could get hurt. He could get, like the more you participate in surfing, the more you give the waves an opportunity to crush you, right? The ocean. And that's the same way with the markets. The more you participate, the more opportunities the ocean, aka the market, has to crush you. So that's why you see me getting in and out, right? That's why you see me taking 1 to 2, maybe 3 trades a day, and I'm gone, right? 1 trade a session, and I'm typically done. It's like robbing a bank. Not that I have any experience in robbing banks outside of what we do out here, but if I was going to rob a bank, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't go back to the bank 20 minutes after I left. Tell you that
when
much.
The cops are there.
While all the cops are sitting around saying, I wonder who did this, right? I wouldn't find myself back over there.
Then you get caught with the bag. And you get caught with more than just the bag.
Bite of a
You may lose
donut.
some time.
I wonder who could have robbed this bank. And then here I come pulling back up. Hey, is there any more money in here?
Yeah, right. There he is. Get him. Fact, bro.
Can you speak and touch on topic of getting rid of being a slave to your emotions? Yeah, your emotions are meant to help you, right? So your emotions are meant to be observed. A lot of people think, oh, if I feel sad, I should cry and just sit there. If I feel happy, then I should be all excited. But emotions are not meant to dictate your life. They're meant to help you, right? Like if you have an emotion of fear, you got to observe that real quick, and you got to be like, hey, am I scared because this 600-pound male lion is sitting right in front of me growling, or where I really should be like running for my life, or am I just scared because something make-believe is going to happen and I just think it's going to happen, but it's not even reality. So you got to really observe, those feelings and those emotions to benefit yourself, right? Because there's nothing wrong with feeling them, but then observing them and be like, all right, there's nothing to worry about here. There's nothing to fear here, right? There's actually not a lion growling in front of my face where I need to run. It's just, let's say, I don't know, the market just didn't close without a top wick, right? So I just shouldn't fear. I should just follow my plan, right? There's nothing to be scared about. So it might be a stupid example, but yeah, I mean, you got to understand, is your feeling real or not? Most of the time they're not. My mentor would say feelings aren't real. You gotta observe them. Whatever they're trying to tell you in the beginning is most likely not what they're what they really are.
Word, bro. I would say logic's the antidote of emotion. Like, use logic to cure your emotions.
Yeah.
There's no emotion when there's logic, right? Like, just like you can have a positive perspective or a negative perspective, you could either have a logical perspective or an emotional perspective. So it's all in which one you're using. So if you have an emotional perspective and you don't want that, right, cure it with logic and replace it with logic.
Exactly.
Like, okay, example, I'm in a trade right now, right? Let's just say, for example, I'm in a trade and price is fluctuating. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional right now because price is fluctuating. I see the money going up and down, so I'm getting emotional. Okay, well, how can I help myself not be as emotional? Well, I can replace it with logic, and that's my trade management plan. Okay, well, my trade management plan is logical, so let me just follow this, right? And if I can remember the logical plan, like, okay, it does make sense to hold right now because there's clean range. I have a stop loss. Well, then that's going to make me less emotional, right? When I'm thinking of the logic at hand.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. I can't find it though. I'll send you guys a good. A good YouTube video. I'll find it later after the stream. But I'll send you guys a good one to listen to. Was this a fade? No, I didn't see any fades here. Yeah, so this wick for me is a little too long. Plus, we also continued to close above the range here, so that wouldn't be a fade for me. Maybe you could say on the 15 you got something, but not really. No. Let's see here. What's my take on gold? You need a pullback, right? So you just need a new support form, maybe somewhere around here, maybe even here, right? Some new support that we could take a buy off of. So maybe we can get something like this, right? And then a bullish closure. And then once we close bullish, especially if there's volume coming in, then we could take the buys. So this has been the plan since like 8:30. So we'll see if we can get that. So it's trying to form up for us, but you gotta have patience. We gotta wait. Can you talk about being a slave to your wife? Yeah, cut out all tap water. Don't eat or drink any like snacks or anything filled with seed oils or soy, because then you end up becoming what they call a soy boy, and you get all seed oil swollen, and it gets bad. It gets bad. The tap water starts to make you talk a little bit like this, and you're all of a sudden your wife's like, "Who's this guy I think he is? I'm the boss. I'm the boss." Yeah, don't wear such tight pants either, man.
Start drinking spring water.
And them shorts, I mean, they're too short, G. They're way too short for the gym. Way too short. Yeah, you, Green. No, them shorts, though. Your wife just looking at you walk out the gym thinking, who the hell am I married to? Just kidding. I'm not talking about you, Green. I'm just literally just talking about, a guy who's a slave to his wife, typically. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you're no, I'm not. Yeah, blah. Never mind. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings here today.
Yeah, I can't say.
So I'm gonna just keep my mouth quiet. Next topic.
Don't be soft.
Oh man.
Tighten up, G.
Let's go. Tighten up. That's all I got to say.
I think we all know the answer to that one.
Good morning, Mr. Gon. Good morning. Do you make monthly 10,000 only through prop firms? Yeah, I think this month I did pull like 10,000. Yeah, it was like 9 or 11, something like that. Yeah, I think it was 11. I think it was like 11 something. 11,000. But I am currently building multiple 8-figure businesses. Multiple.
That's what you need to do too. Use the income from trading and diversify it.
Yep. Become an entrepreneur, How to stay longer than 30. Come on, bro. You should know how to do that. Green.
10,000 steps.
What's the plan for today? Wait for support and then buy. Yes, exactly, Stephen B. Exactly. What's your thought on the education system? I don't know if you want to hear my thought on the education system.
Bro, the education system failed me. I could say that straight up. That thing failed me.
Yeah, the education system is training ground, right? They want to train up peasants. They want to train up slaves. They want to train up employees. They want to train up people that obey, right? So I think that's all the educational system is doing. And what's crazy is that the teachers don't even realize, right? Because they were brought up in the same educational system that they're teaching. So have you ever heard the saying, the blind leading the blind? Never once was I handed a book like Think and Grow Rich in school. Never once was I told how to believe bigger, how to do my taxes better, how to develop multiple streams of income, how to protect myself in case somebody tried to attack me, how to use weapons the proper way, how to learn finances, how to build business, right? The only thing I learned was how to copy things and listen to the rules. and I don't listen to the rules. That's why I didn't make it through school. I'll just mess with you guys. Yeah, honestly, the educational system shot. Straight up shot. So I figured I could do a better job at the schools. So I would never put my kids in the public education system.
I'm all about education, but then it's like, all right, what are we getting educated on? You know, I don't want to get educated on my English teacher's favorite movie, you know? I have no business doing that, you know, or getting advice from a fat person on
They
fitness, you know? So it just doesn't make sense, you know, the math wasn't mathing. And I also didn't like that I passed every single class with 65s, and then I had a diploma that said I was all great, and then I got congratulations from everyone. That didn't make sense either to me.
Yeah, I mean, I would just consider it a daycare for children. Right, here you go, watch my kids. Right, my mom and dad had to go to work. There was nowhere else to throw us. They threw us in the education system. Why'd they do that? Well, everyone does that.
Shout out John D. Rockefeller.
Fine. Let's see. Philippines. Yeah, man, I'm not too sure. It's a tough one. Yeah, I feel bad for some of you guys that live in some of these places where you can't really find any firms, man.
It's all good. Make it, you know, there's always a way still. Make a way, you know.
So yeah, I mean, I would say if the education system kind of changed some things, I would love to put my kids in a, you know, public school system where they were learning principles that I agree with, but I don't agree with a lot of that stuff, so I probably wouldn't send my children there. I'm an English teacher in a school, and I agree with you. All right. All right.
It's better to hire a teacher to teach what you want your kids to learn, you know? Give them a blueprint.
Yeah. I watch a higher time frame, lower time frame videos over the weekend. I can clearly say, yeah. You're the GOAT. You're the GOAT. Yeah, everything is explained
Nick
extremely well. Yeah. I think one of my gifts is to really like take something complicated and just make it simple. You know, I need that because I'm truly not that smart. I was in, they called them resource classes. I was in those classes during my time in school. So I need things to be broken down extremely simple for me to kind of come to grips with them. So I think that's why my teaching style ends up being so like easy to understand and easy to listen to, because I need it that way. If it's more complicated and difficult, then I don't really quite understand it. So the webinar that he's talking about is right here, part 1 and part 2 of higher time frame, lower time frame, price action correlation. This is everything. This has been the game-changing topic for myself and John and many traders out here. So this higher time frame, lower time frame, us really adapting the 4-hour candle, right, and trading off that 4-hour candle, I would say around this time last year has been a game changer. So that's what's really helped me see the markets much more clear and be able to kind of execute in a flawless manner.
Thanks, bro. Game changer. Absolutely.
Tell us more about Matthew 17:20. Yes, I read this really good book a couple years back. It was called The Power of Fasting, right? And I understand the power of fasting. I typically do fast 24 hours every day, but it's much deeper than that. And you can really get intimate with the Lord. You can really lay hands and use, you know, we're more than we think we are, by the way. Most religion, and don't take this the wrong way, is limitation. Right? So before there was ever a book, there was oneness with God, right? So a lot of that oneness came through fasting and prayer. So there's a major scripture in the Bible that some versions have left out, and that's the scripture, right? And it tells us about how the only way that you can solve this problem, or this not problem, but the only way you can find a solution for this right here is by prayer and fasting. And the enemy doesn't want us to know that, and that's why he's using bigger companies to obviously change things around, take things out, you know what I mean.
Fasting something you gotta test. You gotta test it yourself, and you gotta see what we're talking about.
Yeah. In the clubhouse, do you get more in-depth material on playbook setups? See, my friend, here's the crazy part. So like, yeah and no, right? Yeah, because there's much more content, much more material. But no, because, my friend, there's no secret. There's no secret to it. There's nothing else to it, right? You know how most of the time you think, well, what else could it be, right? What else could I be doing? And a lot of times there is nothing else, right? So keep this thing as simple as possible. There's a lot of good stuff when it comes to entries, when it comes to like trade management, risk management, or let's just say like how to read candles, how to identify like trades basically through candlesticks and ranges. That one's going to help out a lot, but there's no secret. There's not much of a secret going on, right? Everything is pretty straightforward in front of us. It's just about the doing, right? Again, we don't have an education problem. We have an application problem. So a lot of times we're just not applying to the T what we should be doing. So maybe we are, but then we're throwing something else in, or maybe we are, but then we're cheating the plan a little. So it's really just got to be one mode, right? Locked in on professionalism and trading the plan how it's supposed to be traded, and that's where the results come. So there's not a little secret or anything in the clubhouse that we're not saying on YouTube. It's very straightforward, but the actual clubhouse will give you more reps. It'll give you access to all these webinars plus another like 5 or 6 that you can't see here. But yeah, I mean, we do talk a lot about it, like using the fade and the inverted celery in 2025, like going over trades. So there's a lot more repetition to it because we're going over it and we're on top of it a lot. But at the same time, no secret really.
Yeah, I would say every day in the clubhouse is repetition, honestly.
Yeah.
Putting the reps in together.
Yep. But there is there is a deeper level of teaching for sure.
Oh.
But there again, there's really no secret to anything.
There's no secrets to success. You got to do what's required of you.
Yeah.
God will not be mocked. As a man sows, so shall he also reap. It's all about what you're sowing.
Can you tell us what we get by signing up to the clubhouse? So you get all these webinars every week. We do fresh webinars every single Saturday, so you could attend those live, or you can come watch the replay. But you have a ton of material. You have a full course that's going in there once we get WAP set up, probably in the next week. You have full trade breakdowns coming in by Johnny Gems, Magnus, myself. You have basically, I don't want to say 24-hour live streaming, but every time there's volume in the market, you can click our Zoom link, pop in, and trade with us. So we trade the Asian session, we trade the pre-London into the London session, we trade pre-New York, and then we trade all New York sessions. So there's a lot of live streaming. There's a very, very active chat here where you got other traders that are on their game, right? They're on top of what it is that we're doing here. And they're honestly, the community is one of the best parts of the clubhouse. Believe it or not, the community is one of the best parts to the clubhouse, where you have this, obviously the live chats you have, but you also have these like exclusive chats within the clubhouse, right? So you got all traders talking in here, a bunch of different stuff going on in here when it comes to the clubhouse. And then, obviously you can see the friendly competition that goes on here, right? So friendly, everyone's looking. Who's green today? Right, who's green, how much green, what they do, right? So there's a big friendly competition. There's competitions on who's taking payouts and I remember, I think it was Friday. Was it Friday? I'm like, yo, I'm gonna take some payouts here, right? I'm like, I'm taking a payout. Here comes Bands Counted. I'm gonna take a payout too. And then what do you know? Here comes Sebastian. Oh, I got another account. Here comes Sebastian. Oh, I'm taking another payout, right? So like, it's cool because you have this friendly competition going on to where iron truly does sharpen iron, and it's just a little bit different because you have everyone like such on the same page that it creates this insane amount of unity, right? Where in YouTube is amazing. I love being here on YouTube, but you have people that can just randomly come in, right? All from all over the place where they may not even know what our system is. But in the clubhouse, you got everyone dialed in. They know what the breakout is. They know what the onion is. They know when and when not to execute. And the results are showing. You know, these guys are, and girls, I mean, most of them all have passed their challenges at this point, right? Most traders in the clubhouse are trading on XFA accounts. And it's cool, man. It's cool to see. Like, not only are they trading on the live accounts, but how many traders have gotten payouts? Like, I think we should add up all the payouts so far this year and see what that number is, because something different is floating around in the air this year. And all we see is payouts, payouts, payouts. We're claiming it every day, and it's no surprise that, you know, we're getting them.
Yes, sir, bro. Community, man. Best part about the clubhouse, honestly. You got support, right? You got you can mastermind with these people. You can combine your brain with a bunch of brains and mastermind, and then again, you become the 5 people you hang with, right? So if everyone you're hanging out with getting payouts, you'll get a payout too. So yeah. Shout out the community.
Chances are, if you're around 5 broke guys, you're gonna be the 6th one. Right? Chances are, if you're around 5 guys that enjoy smoking cigarettes, you'll be the 6th one. If you're around 5 guys that enjoy playing basketball, you'll be the 6th one. Right? If you're around a bunch of guys and girls getting payouts, getting serious about their trading, you'll be the 6th one. So that's the big and like asset outside of all the live streams and that stuff. The big asset is the clubhouse community itself. Yeah,
absolutely.
So after I get off stream, someone else hops on? No, I stay on. So I stay on for the New York session. So basically, here's the schedule. So this is the stream schedule. So basically, you got Asian session, which is typically me, Johnny Gems, and anyone. So Nick and John, and then basically anyone else that wants to come in. Sometimes I'll let the mic open, and we'll just all chill and chat. London session, you got Magnus in the house. So that's typically the session that Magnus, we'll call him the Mag. Magnus is going to run that session. Most days I'm there, some days John's there, but you got an amazing crew in London. Me, Magnus, George, Aaron. Some of you guys don't know these guys yet, but if you come to London, you will. And this has been a phenomenal session this year. It really has been. We've really done well in London session. Just a lot of clean moves, right, in London, where you don't have any news that gets in the way or anything like that. So London's been fired. That's from 1:30 a.m. to about 4 a.m. And then you got pre-New York, which is Mr. Johnny Gems himself. So he's going to run that one. He called a nice 35 pip juice box there today in pre-New York. And again, pre-New York has been a fire session as well, right? And then you have the New York session, which is by me, right? So I typically run this one. I'm in all of these sessions for the most part, but this is the one that I'll typically run and do all that. And then you have the TT webinars. So those are every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. They go for about an hour or so. And typically you'll either find like me or guys like Rafi running webinars in there. John and Magnus are going to start pumping out some webinar content as well, which I'm excited about. So we got a whole lot of stuff going on within the clubhouse. You got new up and rising superstars coming up and a lot of big names. So yeah, it's been pretty fun.
Yes, sir.
Goldie with the drop. There. So this is good. I would love to see this if this 4 hour can close bearish, I'd get much more comfortable taking sells here today. But we want to see some sort of a pullback here, man. This is crazy. Trading the all-time highs is, you know, not that much fun.
Yeah, it's alright.
If I'm not able to make
Bro,
Asian,
NQ bleeder.
yeah, you don't have to tune into all the sessions either, by the way. So those are just sessions that are available, right? So I would personally recommend, like, if you only trade New York sesh, right? Just trade the New York sesh. You don't have to come for London and all that, right? Trade the New York sesh, catch the webinars, educate yourself. Maybe you trade New York and Asian, right? So come for those 2 sessions. But I wouldn't say try and trade every session. I would just say pick whichever 1, maybe 2 that fit your schedule best, and then pull up. You know what I mean? Just come hang out. And wow,
Facts,
everything
bro.
bleeding here. Gold and NQ. ES, I'm
NQ had a
sure,
nice 15.
melting.
15 move and 5-minute move. You had a 15-minute onion on NQ and a 5-minute breakout, which was dirty. Both plays were dirty.
The 5. So you're gonna notice us starting to look at the lower time frames on NQ. Not really on gold as much, but more on the NASDAQ. 5-minute, even 1-minute time frames here. So we're sample sizing, doing some studying, and it'll be here soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with this 4-hour candle on Goldie. If we can close bearish, that'd be nice. Broke the highs there too, which is good. The only issue is you really want the 4-hour to close bear, because like right here, I know it seems like we're melting, but this could be exactly where we get a fake out. Boom, right here. And then price just rips back up. So we gotta be careful what sells. If you're around 5 guys eating 5 guys, you'll be the 6th guy. You guys are funny.
Yeah, J.Q, bro. That's hilarious. Honestly, 5 guys be slapping though. No Diddy. 5 guys cheeseburgers.
Goldie dropping here. NQ, yeah, the NQ cells are melting, but we're in that 4-hour, like, look how long we've been pushing down on the 4-hour. And you have support sitting right here. Where'd it go? Right, major supports here. So, yeah, it looks like we're going to push through, though. Where to next is the question. Let's mark that wick fill. It might be that support too. Yeah. Yeah, you got more room. You definitely got more range here now on NQ, now that we're breaking through that support. Yeah, actually that was money. 30-minute time frame looked good.
It was dirty.
Yeah, because we're still very bearish, but I think we drew it up in the morning, coming back up towards like 66 there, and then melting. But it looks like we never broke through that mid-range there. All right, give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. Just give me a minute. OGH.
OGH, what's up, brother? Yeah, so what's good, chat? What's goody? Who took that NAS sell? Those were nice. Very nice sells on NASDAQ. 15-minute onion, AB Mike W, brother. Great trade. Yeah, shout out everyone who took those sells. Really nice. Stephen B, what's good, my man? How we doing? Got the hedge fund behind you, I see. Lovely. Nice. Let's get Sebastian. See what's this? AB Mike W, brother. That's a nice bag right there. Snap. Quick $800. Sheesh. Times 4? Oh. Oh my lord. Wow. That's what's up. Let's get it. What's up, Melvin? What's up, Sandman? Sandman in the building. How we feeling? Did I take that on NASDAQ? No, I didn't take that on NASDAQ, but I did collect data on it, so I got more data now on NAS. What's up, Visal? What's up, Sim? Nice, took it, but on ESW. Nice. Yeah, I'm doing amazing. Blessed and highly favored. God bless you too. Thank you. Yeah, nice, Chad. So how we on the day? Everyone's being disciplined to their trading plan? How's the day going? You may be green or red, but hopefully we were all disciplined to the plan. Yeah, when I ask a trader, you know, how was your day today? You know, typically they'll say, I'm green, I'm red, but I don't care about that, you know? I really don't. I care what I want to hear is that my day was great, John. You know, I was disciplined to my trading plan. Why do I want to hear that? Because that's what's going to lead to success in this game. So when I hear that, I understand that trader's on the right path to success. What's up, Mr. Gon? Good morning. With the trade in pre-New York, I went B in the 15 at the 15-minute resistance and got tapped, and the move played out. What could I have done better? Yeah, I would say that, you know, I took that trade off the 30-minute time frame. So the time frame I execute on is the time frame I'll manage on too. So the 30-minute, you know, you may have hit a 15-minute resistance, but the 30-minute still had clean range to move up, you know. So since I execute off the 30-minute, I just was solely focused on the 30-minute time frame that I didn't really care about the 15-minute, and I was managing off the 30-minute. And since I was managing off the 30-minute, I saw that the 30-minute still had clean range to the left, so, you know, I was willing to hold it. Yeah, you know, so I think that the time frame you execute on is the time frame you should manage it on. Yeah. And remember, you know, stick to the logic too. You know, don't really get too emotional with the P&L. Don't focus on the P&L. Focus on the charts. Focus on price action, not the P&L. The price action gives you logic. The P&L will give you emotions.
The P&L.
Sir. Mashazi yes, of course. Full-time trader, of course.
Full-time funded trader.
Oh, full-time disciplined trader, I should say. Not just a full-time trader, but a full-time disciplined trader.
What do you do for a living? I'm a funded trader. What do you do?
Right? Yeah, when people ask me, I usually avoid answering that, because it's like, then I have to explain what trading is.
I hate doing that.
Yeah, bro. They're like, what's trading? Full-time trader, what's that? So I just avoid that question.
All right, so I really
I'm in risk management. I'm in finance.
I'm in finance.
Yeah, facts, Jacob.
I'm in risk management.
Nick, what was the answer you told me to give again?
I work for a hedge fund out in Chicago on their NASDAQ floor.
Yeah. Well, that's what I can say now, yeah.
Some of you guys are like, that's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Simple, too.
That's true.
Yeah, I work from home. Yeah, what do you do? I work for a trading firm out in Chicago, a futures firm. I trade on their NQ floor or NASDAQ floor. They're like, go. And then they want to act like they know about stocks. They're like, oh, yeah, stock market, that's really nice. Yeah, really good stuff. Yeah, okay,
Oh, yeah.
Bill. Sit
My
down. But what do you
401k
do,
is
Bill?
down right now.
How about you? Oh, I'm an electrician. Oh my God, it's raining outside, dude. You might get electrocuted.
Right. People see market patterns on my computer, and then they tell me their 401k is down. Like, what?
Oh man, that's exactly what I tell people. Let's go, J Coop. That's our punchline, right? Sell them in 60 seconds. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, I'm about to just start telling people I'm an Uber driver. I think that'll go off much better.
Short, sweet,
I mean,
straight to the point.
To be honest, like every time I leave the house, I try and look as homeless as possible anyway. So it may actually work for me.
It may work.
What do you do, Bill? Hey, I got one question, boys. Where's the Miller Lights?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. I'm gonna have to tell Bill.
We're supposed to go there tomorrow, bro.
Oh, yeah. We're going back to Lexington tomorrow, boys. Should we bring some
book.
Miller Lights, eh?
Hell yeah. And we'll talk to Bill, too.
No one gets that joke outside of 5 people here.
Are you trying to be funny?
Not at all. Kind of, actually. It's our new friendly joke.
Alright, bro. If you know, you know. We're just positive people.
Oh, man.
Negative people hate positive people. I see.
So is it fair to say if I took 6 years of learning to trade to average 10 to 12K a month, is that what I heard you? Yeah, I mean, that's a good deal to me. That's a pretty good deal to me, right?
That's fire.
So when I first started getting involved in entrepreneurship, a lot of people did not last. And what I mean by that is a lot of my friends got involved, but they faded away. And it just continued to happen because they couldn't deal with the temporary delay gratification for the life of victory later. So they wanted to basically have their party now and then live the rest of their life. I wanted to live my life, build my foundation, and have the rest of my life be the party. And my mentor would always encourage me during these times. He would say, Nick, don't worry about it, because when their party's ending, yours will just be starting in life. So the way I looked at it was there was a timeline, right? And this was representing my life. And let's just say, these are decades, right? So you got decades here. So you got 10 years, maybe 20 years, right? 30, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 100, 110, 120. And I would probably say I'm going to live to about 130, 140, somewhere around there, right? So planning my life out, what I looked at was, okay, well, if this is 1 to 10, right? Well, that's fine. I'm just a kid during those times. So 1 to 10, right? Or let me make it like this. So this is 1 to 10. And now 10 to 20, which is all right? So the way I looked at it was, if I could spend the next 10 years of my life, meaning from my 20s, right? So if I could spend from 20 to 30 really changing my mindset, building businesses, building a foundation for success, and I can do all the work right in between here, right in this decade. So when we're looking at the decade, we think, well, this is all of my life, right? But when you look at your entire timeline, there's a lot more life to go. So I just decided that I would be willing to sacrifice day and night during this decade to live a life of victory later on, right? And have that whole journey be freedom. So I was willing to basically work my tail off for 10 years. And I would say this to my wife back then. I say, look, honey, we're going to look back at this 10 years and be like, when we're in our 60s and 70s, we'll look back at that 10-year period and think, wow, it surely was worth it to be able to sacrifice from 20 to 30 to go out and live a life for the rest of our time here of our dreams, right? So you gotta be willing to put in the work somewhere. The issue is most people, they put in the work, but they put in the work their whole life, only to realize that their ladder is up against the wrong building, that what they were chasing would never actually satisfy them. So all my buddies that were chasing jobs and careers and college and girls and drugs and parties and alcohol and all that stupid stuff during this decade here, I was chasing growth. I was chasing victory. I was chasing personal growth and development, leadership skills, getting around the mentors, building businesses, setting up e-com stores, learning how to be an entrepreneur. So that way, when I got done with that decade, I could live the rest of my life as a free man versus living the rest of my life to recover from debt from college, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, right? All that stuff that I see some of my friends going through now, while their party has ended at 30, mine has just begun. So that's some advice that I would say, you know, and again, you know, looking back at life when we're over here, let's say in our 70s or 60s, you're going to look back at that decade and be like, man, it sure was worth it to live the life that we've been living for the last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, for all a little bit of work, you know, over that, or a little bit of foundation work laid down over that one decade set us up for a life of victory. So I don't even know where we went, how we got down this path here, but hopefully that answers whatever question I was answering.
That's fire, bro. I love how the hardest part comes right before the greatest part.
Oh yeah, by the way, that 10 years was very difficult. Very difficult. Very difficult. This 10 years right here was one of the hardest points in my life, but if you ask me would I do it all over again to get the results I have now, I do it a million times over and over again, right? To be able to sit here and have my kids home, my wife home, to be free, to be, you know, not lacking money, to be hitting our goals, right? That one decade set it all up. In that one decade, I read over 250 books on personal growth and development, leadership, money management skills, entrepreneurship, business, all of it, right? So that was really the decade that changed my life. Was it this decade? No, it was the previous one that set up the victory for the next X amount of decades that, you know, the Lord wants me to work here. So that's just my 2 cents, yeah. Yeah, and what am I looking for? I'm looking for buys here. So my plan has still not changed from the morning, right? We need a bit of a pullback. We took the buys here, right? Buys were good here, but now if we want to take more buys, we need a pullback. So that's what we're in the process of getting. Unfortunately, it takes time, you know, for candlesticks to form and do all the good stuff. But, you know, you get a closure back in the range here on like a 15, maybe 30 minute. It looks pretty good to move back up. We also do have a 4-hour closure coming up in about 10 minutes. Yeah, and look, during that one decade, I would look to Anna and I'd say, hey, honey, trust me, everything we're doing right now, we're going to look back on in our 50s and think, that was so worth it. That was so worth it. And yeah.
It's always worth it, bro.
Said Nick's drawing. You know, when I start whipping out the drawing tools, it's going somewhere.
It always is, bro. It gets fired.
Yeah.
It gets hot in here.
If the 4-hour close is bearish, are you still looking for buys? So if the 4-hour close is bearish here, I'd be open to taking some sells, but they'd have to be below here, right? And I'd have to get a range too, because we need a new resistance, right? Our only resistance that we have at this point is way up here, which is going to be, if we get a closure below, about, what is it, 250 points away. So that's not going to work, you know what I mean? I'm going to need a new resistance. So I think if basically what we got on NQ, right? So if you can get the same setup on NQ that you get, or on gold that you got on NQ here, I would like that. So basically 1, 2, maybe 3 green candles to make that next 4-hour candle's top wick. Because if our 4-hour candle is going to close like this, then we're going to need a top wick, right? So if we can get that top wick based off of 2 or 3 15-minute bullish candles, right, like that represents the top wick, and then we can get, you know, a nice resistance, then I think we'll be good to go. Green breaks my heart, bro. Breaks my heart. I be seeing that and I'm like, damn. You know, sometimes I look at older people or more mature people, whatever you want to call it, and I think, and like, depending on what they're doing, sometimes I really do feel bad, and I think, you know, well, where did it go? Where did it go that way? You know what I mean? And how many chances did that person have? Did they have any chances, right, to make a difference in their life? But, you know, those are some things that we can't really control. So, but it does break my heart. I usually try and tip those people like really good when I see them, especially when I see them like cleaning up at like restaurants, or even if they're in like these food chows or these food halls, and you see like this older lady, the one cleaning up, I just go over and tip her, or be like, hey, you know, did you drop this? There's no one else around, but, you know, I think it's yours, and just give them something, right? So, yeah, breaks my heart.
That's another part of my purpose, you know, to help others who need it more than I do. Like $100 tips, $500 tips, like that's another part of my purpose, and I'm sure it's a big part of your purpose as well. You know, it's important that we remember these things, you know, as we're along the journey. Maybe when we don't feel like showing up, it's important we remember why we're doing it, you know, and remember for our family, for others, you got these people counting on you. So let that fuel you as well to help them.
Yep. Yeah. DoorDash and stuff like that. You see older people doing. You know, everyone talks a big game, but a lot of people are hurting. You know, and a lot of people just aren't willing to put their ego aside and, you know, kind of change with the times, dude. I mean, all you got to do really is, if you don't think AI is taking over, you're in for it. Because all you have to do, in order to see where the future is going, just see how they're programming the young youth. That's it. So if I go look at some of the shows that my children watch at 4 years old, 3 years old, one thing I notice is in almost every show, the people have a robot, right? So what are they doing? They're preparing the youth mind to normalize AI, right? And robots and things of that nature. So if you want to understand the future, I mean, it's pretty simple. Just go look at the children's shows. And then don't just do that, but then now build a business, right, where you can take advantage of AI or some sort of, you know, use it to your advantage. Don't just look at it and be like, well, you know, I'm just going to continue being a janitor. No, like, use your brain, think of opportunity, and somehow, you know, build something that will work well with AI. But yeah, unfortunately, most of the older people, like when they seen e-commerce coming around back in the 90s, everyone just laughed at it. People were laughing at me because I've been building e-commerce stores and businesses since 2011, 2012, and people were laughing at me for years and years, thinking, why would anyone want to buy anything online and blah, 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 right? And now I set myself up for success, and they're, you know, just now catching on. Well, wow, let me start a Shopify store or whatever. It's like, dude, you're about a decade behind, right? So it's all about jumping on future trends quickly, right, before they're trending. So if you can do that, you know, you'll be at the head of the class, you know, in a decade. But man, people fought me all day long about buying from my online business. It was crazy.
Crazy, Nick.
But like I posted the other day, the guy that they all counted out is the one that they're now all counting on. So it's a beautiful thing. You're going to have people counting on you whether you know it or not. You're going to have people that are making fun of you right now that are going to need you later. Loved ones, right? So don't kind of look at their pettiness and just keep moving. Keep moving forward. Yeah.
Nick, you have faced some crazy backlash too.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I remember being at like parties, family parties, and they were all talking crap about Nick, you know, because Nick would always want to be different than everyone else, have different ideas, different plans, and they were talking crap, you know, and it just shows you what Nick talks about is real. You know, many people aren't willing to commit to that plan, but little will do so, and those people who don't will give you some backlash for it, you know, whatever. But see how Nick didn't let it get in his way. He committed to himself and he stayed true to himself and he made it happen. And now, like he said, now every one of those people who talked crap are now counting on him. So yeah, man. Let Nick be a great example of it.
And then you know what I do? I drive by and I play that old school 50 song. I'm laughing straight to the bank. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Who remembers? Oh, no, just kidding. Just kidding.
And they're just pissed.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Nah, for real. Yeah, nah, so if you got people like that in your life right now, like, don't let that get to you, right? Stay true to yourself and just let your action speak for itself.
That's it. My mentor would say, Nick, as you go out and you go to achieve greatness, you will always, always receive violent opposition from mediocre minds. And it's so true. And your association has a lot to do with where you go in life. You know, I had friends, but guess what? I had to walk away from them friends with no, you know, hey, no hard feelings, but you keep denying what I'm trying to accomplish, right? So I can't be around that. So there's got to be a time where you know, unfortunately or fortunately, you have to start to disassociate yourself from some groups or friends that may end up holding you back, you know? And I had to do that too, and that's not easy. It's not, you know, it's not just like, okay, you know, we've been friends forever, but gotta go. You know, it's tough. And while you're out there building your businesses and you know your friends are hanging out, having fun, and you're thinking, am I missing out on this fun? But again, my mentor would continue to reassure me. He said, Nick, when their fun ends, your fun will begin. When their fun ends, your fun will begin. When their fun ends, your fun will begin. And that dude never told a lie, ever. So I'm just grateful that I was stupid enough to listen to someone who had what I wanted in life. And yeah, they guided me in the right direction. And that's what I'm trying to do to y'all, because you guys weren't with me when I was with my mentor. You guys weren't in some of the rooms that have absolutely changed my life. So I feel like it's a duty for me to bring that philosophy, bring that wisdom into this room right here, right? So a lot of you guys can hear it and take it and run with it. 4-hour closure Amen. Coming up. Looking nasty. Sheesh.
On gold? Oh my gosh, bro. Yeah, I'm definitely calling it a day. Last day of the month too, bro. That's nasty.
What made you move from your hometown? The weather. But also, at that point, I started catching momentum. I finally started building momentum in my finances and in my life, like for real. And I had to get away. I had to just go. I had to do my own thing and get out there on my own and bring my tribe, my family with me. And I don't know, just felt called to go serve the homeless in Tampa. So we do a lot of that, like go down, serve the homeless, help them out. I don't know, you know, it was just a calling on my life to get out of New York and get down to Florida, specifically Tampa. God specifically had helping the homeless in the equation for me. Like that was obvious. And yeah,
a big thing was growth too. You know, you stay where you're at. Sometimes some of us are too comfortable, you know, where we're at. So we need to kind of move, change a little bit, have some change in our life, and then get uncomfortable or get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And then we grow through that, you know. You grow through getting uncomfortable.
Yep. My mentor would say, Nick, the comfort zone's a casket.
Thanks,
he said, ain't nothing comfortable about the comfort zone. He said, you got to work on being comfortable with getting uncomfortable. I said, damn, dude, you're just messing me up from every angle right now. My dad ain't never said nothing like that to me. So,
like what did he say?
Praise God, I was very fortunate enough to live the rich dad, poor dad life, where I did have a rich mentor and I did have a dad who was a great guy, but an average person. You know, he was a truck driver. He did start his own business for a little while. He did have ambition and aspiration, but he just didn't have the mentality, right? So the mentality is everything. You know what I mean? If you don't have the winner mindset, you don't have winning. So my dad didn't quite have all that, but luckily my mentor did, and he basically saved my life. You know, my dad taught me a lot of things too, but he couldn't teach me what Mr. V taught me.
That's facts, bro.
What part of New York were you from? Rockland County. Yo, shout out to Rockland County, stand up. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Rockland County.
845. No.
845, yo, 845. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Stop. Smiley, shout out to Smiley. Shell, represent. How long have we been in Florida? About 4 years. 4 years or so.
Nah, it's been that long.
Yeah, it's been a minute because I moved down here like year and a half before you.
Oh yeah, true. So it's been 3 years for me. What the
Shout out to Green. Oh, Westchester? Yeah. Of course, we know where Westchester is.
Hey,
I would go to Westchester like multiple times a week.
Bro, Nick would be out there, bro. All over everywhere. New York, honestly.
I'll be everywhere. We called it driving the miles, baby. I'll be going to do meetings, show plans. Who's ever been in network marketing? Showing the plan, showing the plan. That was my middle name. Nick, show the plan Stewart. And I showed the plan to everyone. Anyone and everyone. I done drove to Baltimore, Maryland to show the plan.
This man ain't lying, bro. Like I could be for real. Like, you know, me and Nick are brothers. I'm his younger brother. We have another brother, Joe, and then we have our mom and dad. And then I remember always coming home from school. Dad would pull up after work. You know, Joe would be home. Mom would pull up after work. And then it was like, where's Nick? There's no Nick.
He's out there drawing them stupid circles again.
Nick wouldn't pull back up until like midnight. And then the weekends would come around. And then I'm like, where's Nick? I haven't seen this dude Saturday, Sunday. No signs of Nick ever. So this man was out there. That's a fact.
Yeah, man. Good times.
And then George pulled up, and I was like, "Oh, George is home." Then I got mistaken with George and Joe. I'm like, "Wait, which one's my actual brother?" No. What's up, George?
I live in Tampa now. Yeah, Tampa. New York's a good place to be from. Maybe not the best place to live.
Yeah, I'm proud to be from New York.
Although it is a good place to live too. I mean, especially if you got a couple bucks, you could do a lot of awesome stuff in New York.
It's a good summer vibe. You know, we'll be down there this summer, Nick.
Yeah. He said I was selling vitamins out the trunk. I was pumping CDs and audios, everything. I was doing it all. Cracking excess, everything. So, all right. So, how many of you guys are confident about that 4-hour closure here? Say aye.
Aye, no, I'm kidding.
And if you say aye, then join the elite program ASAP.
The one who's hungry for the pips is like aye, you know.
Just depends on how desperate I am.
Yo, are we live trading or are we talking? What's going on here now?
Are we live chatting? Oh, are we even live? I thought it was just me and you. No, it's good.
Yeah, right, bro. All right, Nick, I'll talk to you later, bro. Peace.
All right, so John, what are you doing today?
That, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick around a little longer because I just want to see how we do in this overall range here. So we're kind of stuck now. This is like a no trade range here. So I want to see what we will do in this range here. Because if you get something like NQ, then you know maybe we can get bearish. But we need the price action on the lower time frame to help us out here, man. It's not helping us out right now. So maybe if you get something like this. Right, nice rejection to the top, potential bearish closure. Now you might have a sell to go fill that wick because that would be the 4-hour creating a top wick and all that good stuff. So yeah, maybe we get something like that. But the 4-hour closure is not that healthy at all. Alexandros in the building. What's up, bro? Who's got any questions? Now that you guys heard a little bit more about my story, anyone have any questions? I do have 10 years of just experience in the game. I am currently building a couple 8-figure businesses. I have gone through a lot of struggle. I've built multiple e-commerce businesses. I've had the pleasure of sitting at the feet of incredible mentors. If you guys have any questions, let's lock it in and chat about it, and then we'll head out in a little bit. Let's take a look at NQ. We'll wait for gold to do something, and if it doesn't do anything, that's totally fine. NQ is... we did close bearish on the 4 hour.
You missed the sells on NQ.
Yeah. So you need some sort of a... See what the 15-minute candle's doing now? Like, you need a nice little resistance to form, and then potentially more sells. Let's go look at this range here. We got to go to like the 4 hour though, unfortunately. So you have a 4 hour wick fill, so we'll see. Why hasn't my 4 hour closed yet? It probably already closed. It probably closed at 9 and now it's still open. What would you need to see for a buy stop on gold? Let's go back to gold here. So, okay, so on gold now, we're going to need, so if you can get something like this, right? Let's kind of move this. So you got all-time highs up here. Right now, I think if you get a new support formed, so let's say we do a fake out, right? So let's say we do get what we're looking for and a big closure, right? But the candle closes and it gives us some signs, like it's got no wick at the bottom or some sketchy signs there, right? Then all you do now is wait, right? You wait for a new closure back above, and now you have a brand new support formed, clean traffic to the left. If that happens around like 10:30, 10:45, you should have some volume from London close, and then yeah, that would be the move. So the main thing is you need support. If I look back at my last couple losses, they were all buys that were way too extended. By the way, on Friday, who remembers Friday's trade? Friday, starting a new month? Yeah, tomorrow. So I would say Friday's trade, due to my thinking over the weekend, I think we could have avoided Friday's trade. I think that I would consider that an unnecessary loss on my end. And that was because we took a trade. It was on the 15-minute time frame. It was too overextended. It was 8:45. I very rarely take trades at 8:45, and I should have waited for the 30-minute candle to close. So that was on me on Friday. I think that wasn't probably the best trade. It wasn't a good trade, but I mean, it was a good trade, but it wasn't like a great trade at all. You know, it was definitely one that I think, you know, we could have avoided. So Friday's trade could have been avoided in my opinion. Normally I would wait for like a 31 hour there, and Friday I didn't, and I paid the price for it. So why do you need support? Great question. You need support because anytime you're going to take a buy, right? In most cases, if you have a support formed, right, that's where you're going to get the most energy, the most volume, like the biggest push when it comes to taking buys. You ever notice how you'll take a buy off support, or you'll see support form and you'll get candles like this, right? That the next candle tends to be a big candle, right? And then eventually the candles will begin to lose steam, right? Because they're too far from a support. So what needs to happen now is you need to create a new support, right? And look, price can continue moving up, right? Let's say we do this, but you need a new support now if you want to really get confident in the push. Because I know like some of you guys may not trade exactly like me. I'm looking to trade like one candle, right? And have that push. So I want to buy off that support because I know that that's most likely where you're going to get the strongest candle. So if you take it too high now, it's like, think about when you squat, right? You get the most strength coming from the squatting position. So imagine you try and squat, and imagine you squat, you go down, then you come up and you try and go higher. It'll jump on your tippy toes, right? No, you need to come back down, get some more power, and then push back up. So that's when I'm most comfortable taking buys. But look, let's say price does this. Can we still push? Absolutely, right? We can still move up. It's just not familiar price action to me, so I wouldn't execute that. Pips on life. Catch you later. Catch you later, scratches. Yeah, plus you want to be careful here, man. 4-hour candle's not looking good at all, right? Look at that. Can we have an onion play instead of a fake out for a buy? Yeah, like a sell, you mean? Yeah, I think so. I think if we can get like a fake out here, right, and then a closure back below, then I think the sells are pretty decent to go down and fill that 4-hour wick, right? Maybe get a wick fill out of it, at least kind of test that support there. So I do like those. Those aren't bad at all. The issue now is how are the candles going to close, right? Can you get a candle to close like that? Because if you can, then now you have a nice good amount of distance for a trade, right? But if that same resistance candle closes something like this, right, then it's not the same trade at all anymore, right? Because now you've already pushed through the range for the most part. So got to wait for the candles to close. Someone said Raja was talking about us. Where at? Anyone remember the time? Raja Banks.
He was live today, right?
Yeah, if there was one person, the only person I would recommend you watching in terms of trading to be able to like stick to this type of style would be Raja. Other than that, I really wouldn't recommend anybody else.
No one.
But if you guys have the time, let me know. I'll go check it out. Raja made a vlog. I know, he made it with the same camera I got. This little DJI. I got some vlogs too. I just haven't put them out yet. Yeah, see the little vlog you made. Does the support forming on NQ in 30-minute time frame valid for buys? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. NQ 30-minute time frame. So the only issue now, you know, on both time frames or both pairs is this 4-hour, right? So what's the 4-hour going to do? I mean, we've tapped target here, right? Now we push down again. So yeah, I'm. It's tough, right? Because you don't want to take a buy here and get faked out on the 4-hour creating a top wick, you know. So that's where the issue is on NQ here right now. So I think as long as you stay below what is this, 41, then you remain bearish. But yeah, we'll see. A little tricky price action here. Not as clear as it could be. Oh, nice, Matthew. That's awesome. Yeah, yeah.
Matthew.
Otherwise, you know, like if you watch too many people, it's going to confuse the daylights out of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Trading's supposed to be simple, not overcomplicated.
I remember I used to have Don on one, Raj on the other. I kid you not. Yo, I kid you not. I had one headphone tapped into the laptop, which like one of them were, and then I had the other headphone on the actual monitor that I was using, because I had AirPods from my Mac desktop, and then I had just regular headphones from my Mac laptop. So I had Raja here, Don here. It was probably the most difficult part of my trading journey. Especially when one was getting in a buy and one was getting in a sell.
Right.
And then one would be like, that other guy, he don't know what the hell he's doing. I'd be like, wait, he's calling a sell right now. What do you mean he doesn't know what he's doing? Yeah, that was the worst. 58.53. Thank you, my friend. Damn, thank you. Is it worth playing on the live stream, or should I watch it later? I was hungry, bro. I'm like, yeah, no one. I'm gonna succeed so fast. I got two really good traders. That means I'm gonna get double the profits. I just had to buy double the amount of challenges because they kept blowing. Yeah. You guys want to watch it? All right, let's watch it. Doom, doom, doom. What thing?
Please show us commissions. The commissions are what, like $7 per lot?
He goes to my YouTube. Oh, wow.
Those are the commissions.
Wow. He really did.
Okay.
Oh,
so
snap.
Let's send this over here. Here you go. Here's the Telegram link.
Let's take a look.
Do you know Time to Eat Trading? He is as same as you. Time to Eat Trading. No, I don't know Time to Eat. Should I know Time to Eat Trading?
Time to eat your veggies.
It's Nick too. Oh yeah, Nick. I know Nick. Yeah, I know Nick. Nick is cool guy. I know Nick. Nick is cool.
Raja.
He's moved to futures now, right? 37 waiting. Yeah, he's moved to futures.
37 waiting.
Beautiful. Prop firm, TopOne trader, TradeZilla, Time to Eat Trading, Time to Eat Trading. Yeah, he's moved to futures.
Futures.
Really good job at these live streams, his videos, you know, everything. I took a buy on market open yesterday.
Ah,
got out at
nice.
18. Oh wow, that's great.
He's already subscribed, eh?
Welcome to the New York session live stream. Beautiful.
Ah, nice. Very nice. Was that it?
Then he's on. He's over it.
India, no.
Then he's on to the next question.
Which is better, price action or
W. W. We'll take it.
Definitely.
He knows Nick. He doesn't know me for time to eat trading, you know, because I'm not like, hey, you know me, Nick from time to eat trading. Everyone knows me. You know what I mean? So I just keep it low key with him. Word. How y'all not subscribe to me and Raja is? Come on.
That's dirty. That's messed up. Don't talk to me anymore.
Mr. Miyagi, welcome, my friend. Yeah, you can get, I would say, message TK on Discord. He probably hears this right now, so he'll probably get you all set up quickly. Does he have the same style? Yeah, he has very similar style. I would say he's maybe a little bit more aggressive than I am, but he's also been trading like 10 years, and I've been trading 6 years, so he's got definitely a little bit of experience on me for sure. His YouTube channel right here. Right here. Raja Banks.
Raja.
So this is who I learned how to trade from. So
Wicks don't lie.
When I refer to my mentor, I'm not really referring to him. I'm referring to my life coach. But when it comes to trading, he has done a really good job at helping me understand the markets, how to read candlesticks, ranges, price action, session times, higher time frame, volume, wick fills, support and resistance, all that good stuff. Trade management. I mean, he saved my life when he said, hey, if you're really serious about your trading this year, stick to 1 to 2 trades a day and tell me you don't see a difference. And I did that, and that's basically what got me profitable.
Yeah, bro. Facts, bro. His stuff works. It really does.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got 9 minutes for this closure on NQ. You do have a 4-hour bias, right? We do have a top wick in place. The daily's still bearish. 1 hour trying to move bearish. 30-minute trying to move bearish. 15-minute trying to give a resistance here. So we'll see what's up with that. And then Goldie trying to do the same thing. What up, Dominic?
Dominic.
I understand the 4-hour close ugly, but with the previous 4-hour breaking the highs and rejecting, if the current 4-hour were to bleed, would this be considered a 4-hour pack? Let's go back to, yeah, kinda. Yeah, I mean, I think the pack already happened because this 4-hour candle ended up melting, so it kind of happened there. So now, like, it's a little sketchy here because this 4-hour candle can go either way. Right, but all we can do is pay attention to the playbook and the signs that we're getting on the lower time frame, and execute and deal with the the probability of it. So I personally like the gold cells a little bit better down here. I think I like the NQ cells a little bit better where the resistance is, but we'll see. First video to watch in the clubhouse, I would start in the webinar section with higher time frame, lower time frame correlation. The video in the 2 hours of that video are basically the concept that took me from a break-even trader to a profitable trader. Yeah, I think in that one too, we dive into like the correlation of a trending market, the correlation of a ranging market as well. So that one's really good.
Yeah, gotta watch them all. There was 2 parts on that one too, so it's good when there's 2 parts.
Yeah, I would watch part 1 and part 2, but to keep it real, like the first videos I would watch would be the goal setting ones. Like, being that I know what's in all the videos, I would recommend goal setting part 1 and part 2. These guys right here. To listen to first, because really without this you'll never commit to this or any of this. If you don't know what your goals are and getting clear about them, like, you're never willing to commit. So I personally would listen to these first, because I know we call them goal setting, but what they really should be called is the spiritual laws of success. So I would highly recommend listening to those first, and then all that other stuff. Yeah. I didn't want to spook you guys out, with naming it the spiritual laws of success. So I just called it goal setting. Don't spook them out. Goal setting part 1 and part 2.
Good afternoon, Dominic.
You're welcome, Mr. Miyagi. I like your name, and welcome to the clubhouse, my friend. Oh, TK's on with WAP. TK, hook up Mr. Miyagi.
TK. What's up, TK?
TK, at your service. Oh, he's got you. Give him 1 minute. He always hits his deadlines. If he says 1 sec, it'll be 1 sec.
1 Mississippi. All right, he's here.
All right, you're in. See that? Oh, would you look at that?
All right, all good.
Yeah, anyone who just joined the clubhouse over the last 2 hours or 3 hours since we've been on the stream, you guys will all get added right now. You're welcome, Carlos. I hope you enjoyed that goal setting video. Yeah, part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, enjoy that. It's going to be really good.
Those webinars I really do share from my heart. I really do share things that made a major difference in my life. So I just pray, everyone kind of has ears to hear and a heart to receive. When we rolling out WAP? Pretty soon, man. I think maybe next week-ish. TK's on the line with them now. We basically got everything on our end pretty much moved over and figured out. It's a couple of little things.
Nick, you hitting a double sesh today in the gym?
I think I am. I also have to go to the old crib and clean it all out. I still have my old crib. I haven't even been there in weeks. I still actually have my old spot. I gotta clean it out though, because April's the last month.
Damn, so starting April, it's done?
Yeah, I think it's like April 7th or something.
Damn, alright.
Day after your B-Day.
Got you.
Big birthday coming up for Johnny Gems.
Yes, sir. Damn, I didn't even realize it's next week.
Yeah.
Ah.
I heard someone say if 1 million can't fit in your mind, it won't fit in your wallet. That's so true.
Facts, bro.
So true. Your level of finances will never exceed your level of personal growth and development and belief. All right, so remember what I mentioned about this candle here. If it closes too far in the range, we're chalked, right? Because we don't have enough distance. So unless this candle pulls back towards like a 13 or something, then this one's chalked. We'll turn our eye to gold. Where to find videos? Those are in the Clubhouse section called the webinar recordings. Yeah, we got a big webinar coming up this week. We'll do a full monthly review. We'll talk about some lower time frame stuff as well this week. And we got some important topics to touch on. We celebrate the same month. Hey, where's all my May babies at?
W.
You know I'm coming through Cinco de Mayo.
Let's get it, Eric.
Eric P's in
Me and
April.
Eric, April birthdays. Let's go. April is the sign of spring. That's when the rain stops. So things get great in April. But it's been spring for me since December. So.
We literally had a 2-week winter, and then it got cold for like 2 days, like last week, and then that was it. We've basically been like 80 degrees, 75 pretty much the whole year now.
I forgot it got cold. I'm sorry. Pros and cons to everything.
Oh, Mr. BTC is 7th April. W.
What's up, Mr. BTC? Yeah, me and BTC almost birthday twins.
W, Dominic. We're just trying to make the best thing that the industry has seen. That's all. So, you know, we're just trying to be the best we can be. And there is no competition when you're number one in your own mind.
Yep. Hey, let's go. Daniel King, W. What's up, brother? So me, Daniel King, and BTC are almost birthday twins. April 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Daniel King. Okay.
Yo, next time we got to link together so we could celebrate the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th together. 3 days in a row.
Damn. So this 4-hour candle closed a little stronger, right? A little lower than expected and with no wick at the bottom. So that's a little annoying. Yeah. May 15th.
I think that does it.
W. Let me check Goldie. I don't think we're below that range, are we? Gold.
I don't know.
73 pips.
15 minute ain't bad, but I mean.
Yeah, 73 pips stop here. Let's see where this top wick goes. Because this is like 73 pips for stop loss, which I don't really like, especially with this support right here. I think the best sells on gold, honestly, are right below here. I mean, you're all caught up here in all this stuff, right? We've already rejected that area. So I don't think I like these sells too much. 4-hour nasty closure. Daily still very bullish. This could be where that 1-hour fake out takes place.
Seems like we rejected that downside pretty strongly.
Yeah. I don't think I like this. I'm not that comfortable here. Below there you have such a clean range, right? Which is like 200 pips. Yeah, I don't think I like this range. I think this is a no trade range anyway for me. Yeah, not the hottest. Gold looks really nice. Yeah. I don't know. There's the 4-hour closure really hurts us here, right? Like decision making wise, because we got a doji candle, right? And we're super duper bullish here, right? On the day, super bullish on gold in general. You have this doji 4-hour candle that doesn't really give us much of a decision, right? We broke the highs right here, we broke the lows right here, and we basically just closed doji. So very unsure of what we want to do, right? Now, if that's the case, this right here could be a 1-hour fake out. We all know how bullish gold is, right? So this right here could end up being some sort of a 1-hour fake out. And the last thing we want to do is get activated, right? And then price just pulls back up in the range and, you know, messes around in this range for the rest of the day. So I don't think I really like these sells. I don't think I'm comfortable with taking them at all, actually. So you got a lot of support here on the 30 as well. You rejected there a couple times. Below that's more support, right? So yeah, down here is all clean. So I'd rather wait for sells below there. If anything, I think I'm probably going to close off my March here with a decent profit. 22K profit, yeah. So yeah, I think that's it for me today. I don't even want to trade. Yeah, after 9:30 doesn't even look that good.
I'm about to call it.
Yeah. Yeah, last day of the month here. Yep. Last day of the month.
Yeah,
tomorrow we begin a new fresh month.
Take our profit and call it.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Dominic. The community has a major part of all that, you know. They come in and they play a major role in what we do, you know. What's cool here is the culture. The culture in here is insane, you know, especially like we're all very serious traders. Like for the most part, we want to get the job done. We have a word of the year, which is payouts, and we've certainly been doing that. And then we have a mission, you know, and that mission is to ultimately strive towards the 8-figure trader mark. And that doesn't have to do with results as much as it has to do with actions, right? Can you make 8-figure actions on the charts? Because 8-figure actions will lead to 8-figure results. So that's our big call here, and our big push is to really lock in and, you know, stop the nonsense. So you see how this continues to push up now? So gold is just too bullish here, too bullish. It's probably a 1-hour fake out. But
Yeah,
I think that's
good,
it. Yeah, I think that's it. What, any wins today? Yeah, Johnny Gems took 2 wins. One in pre-New York, one like right around New York. I took the one New York trade. Made like $3,000 on that combine. So yeah, I just traded a combine today. No live capital or anything. Cool. I think we're done. Yeah, I've enjoyed my time here with you all today. Come back tomorrow. We'll be here Monday through Friday. If you're not subbed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Like the stream on the way out if you can, and do me a favor. Write this down. Any of my current decisions are down payments to my future result. Any decisions I make today are down payments to my future results. And when I leave here, do me and yourself a favor. Don't over risk, don't over trade. Don't try and do anything crazy here. It's the last day of the quarter, last day of the month. It's Monday, right? This is where newbie traders get just ripped up and taken advantage of. So keep in mind that every decision you make today is a down payment in the life you will live in the future, my friend. And I'll leave y'all with that. I will see you guys tomorrow. Johnny Gems, appreciate you being here. W Trades today.
Amen.
Thanks for all your
Thank you, bro.
input and your advice.
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro, for your gems.
Over and out, Big G's. Peace. Love.
Peace, Nick. Peace out, chat.
Y'all know the vibes. Get ready to dance. Holla at y'all.
God bless y'all.
See you guys tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace. Later, G's. I'm out.
A2000 EST. OCOEE. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Hey. I need peace. I need love. I need everything that's coming from above. I need peace. I need love. I need everything that's coming from above. I want my dog. Ay, birds of a feather, we gon' fly together. Ay, we gon' rock forever like it's heavy metal. I ain't Christopher Columbus, I would never settle. I ain't Lewis, I ain't Clark, I would never settle. God told me I'm Olympic, for real. Ay, seek the kingdom while you simping, for real. Why you talking, you should listen, for real. All this jaywalking got me limping, for real. Hey, jaywalking, hey, Jesus walking, hey, Jesus talking. Yo, big faith, yeah, I need a whole lot of that way, where I'm about to go like amigo. Can't see the vision that you can't be me amigos. I call up my girl and then we pull up to the Rego. That's the only time we pay to see you acting way different. Way different. Same book, but the page different. The page different. Is it cliche to say I'm lane switching? Well, I'm lane switching. Hold on, let me put my turning signal on. So they see me coming. They still can't see me coming. Only two things that I need is peace. I need love. I need everything that's coming from above. I need peace. I need love. I need everything that's coming from up. They like, how he, who he, what is this? Hey, my studio is wherever I sit. Hey, I plug in the microphone and then you hear that click. Click, 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 click. It's a hit. Hey, way it hit them like, whoa, man. Hey, make them do the uh-oh, man. Hey, how you just came up with whoa, man. Flow electric, this is not a slow dance. Not a slow dance. We come together and we pray and hold hands. He give grace, so wherever grace lands. He paid the price, ain't have no escape plan. Yeah, no plan. Yeah, no plan. Actually, his plan was the plan, so he planned it. Ayy, set the bar high, he the code, so I scanned it. Ayy, we saving souls on the campus. Ayy, but this ain't no religion, we ain't following your antics. Ayy, thank you, Lord, I sit like a praying mantis. Enemy just tryna see me sink Titanic. Never out, but I'm outlanded. Even when I'm out, soon as I land. Back to the beach, back to the sand. Is back to the... Only two things that I need is peace. I need love. I need everything that's coming from above. I need peace. I need love. I need everything that's coming from above.
You took my strength. How I can't forget them folks, but try to leave my wife. I mean it.
if it's rocky. Hear your father, turn your cheek, don't fight. I'm rapping my tail off, I'm shipping the mail off. I'm getting my prayers off, taking my hands off. I wake in the morning and get out the box like Kellogg's. So much from day to day, feel like a featherweight, gave it to God to take care of. Hey, few, I let go, let God. Let me go catch my red eye. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I am KB, that there 1K, tell them twin identical. Pride on minimal life behind these bars, my album criminal. I can't do subliminals, what you think is not this critical. Watch out, it'll go. Christ gon' trump your candidate, died in this political. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I go petro, metro, retro, then I escrow my residuals. It's too formidable, them golden idols pitiful. I'm burning calves like politicals, this is typical. Keep it minimal, teach you how to boy. I'm out here giving clinicals. Go hard as bicentennial, nothing mythical, need no rituals. Grace of God is on continual, my boy.
Feeling so tall, I could give a high five to the pilot. Yeah, family tight, I keep small circle like island.